to plead not guilty before a federal judge in Miami. A Trump spokesperson, Alina Habba, just telling reporters outside the courthouse he's being persecuted.
The decision to pursue charges against President Trump while turning a blind eye to others is emblematic of the corruption that we have here.
The crowd's been building, but so far not the thousands some expected. Fox's Evan Brown with more in Miami.
There are plenty of Trump supporters and detractors coming to the plaza here in front of the Wilkie D. Ferguson Miami Federal Courthouse.
I'm originally from Brooklyn, but I'm living in Fort Lauderdale now.
Yes, I drove down from Northern Virginia. 15 hours total.
And a lot of them are not happy that they won't be able to see what's going on inside the courtroom during the proceeding.
I think what they should do, they should air it on all TV, any social media, and let all the evidence come out as well.
Federal prosecutors accuse Trump of hiding classified documents and obstructing efforts to have them returned. President Biden meeting with the head of NATO, who says Ukraine is gaining ground.
NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg says Ukraine's military is making advances after launching a counteroffensive against Russian troops this month.
It's still early days, but what we do know is that the more land Ukrainians are able to liberate, the stronger hand they will have at the negotiating table.
Both leaders say the alliance is stronger since the Russian invasion. Finland has since joined NATO, and Sweden is in the process of joining.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Police in Denver now say a drug deal gone wrong is the suspected cause of a mass shooting that left 10 people injured last night. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Why 3 teenagers were put in handcuffs. 68 degrees and cloudy in downtown Indianapolis. Radar mostly clear around central Indiana. There are some chances for rain later this evening. Tonight's low down to 60. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. 3 teenagers were arrested Monday in Indianapolis because police think they may have had a role in an armed robbery and carjacking. John Hayrick reports.
It was Monday morning just before 2 o'clock when IMPD says they were told about an armed robbery that happened on West 10th Street near Fall Creek on the northeast side, where a person told them they had their car stolen. IMPD says within minutes they found the car and 3 teenagers, 2 boys and a girl, inside, and there was a gun. They say the girl had marijuana and one of the 15-year-olds had a gun and a prior criminal charge. All 3 of them were arrested for robbery and auto theft. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A fire in Lawrence this morning damaged a handful of businesses at a strip mall off Pendleton Pike near 46th and Post Road. Firefighters believe it started either in Lawrence Liquors or Diamond Chips Lounge around 3 a.m. before spreading to other buildings. No one was hurt, and a cause of fire still under investigation. A man from Indianapolis was arrested and charged Monday after a shooting, says IMPD. An argument is what they believe led to that shooting in the north side off North Keystone Avenue. One man was shot. He's expected to recover, and Dwayne Sturdivant is who the cops put in handcuffs. Police believe the 2 men knew each other. The revolving door of violent criminals is a big reason why some say violence has gotten worse in Indianapolis. Kurt Darling reports on a possible solution.
Fresh off a weekend where 24 people were shot throughout Indy, city leaders are considering a new partnership with federal prosecutors.
When federal charges are filed, pre-trial release options are not available.
Indy FOP President Rick Snyder, he says that the City County Council will be considering a proposal soon to hire 3 new lawyers who will be paid by the city but will work in the U.S. Attorney's Office with the sole purpose of federally prosecuting repeat violent offenders in Marion County. Kurt Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
It's prime home selling season. Right now, home buyers are actively looking. With mortgage rates moving lower, now is the ideal time to get your home sold for maximum dollar. Make the smart choice. Hire the agent I recommend, Mark Dietl. Maybe you're a growing family or working from home, and that means you need more space. How about Tom and Carol in Indianapolis? They needed to sell their parents' house quickly and move them into a place that could care for them better. They heard about Mark Dietl on our show, and after multiple offers, the home was under contract in days.
There's only one agent that we recommend and trust on the Hammer and Nigel show, and it's Mark Dietl. And the reason we trust him is because of the guarantee. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Call right now, 317-755-5555. 4232, or go online to markdeedle.com. That's Mark, Dietel, markdeedle.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
The traffic on the 5s at 3:05. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison. East side crash southbound 465 at Washington Street, and the left lane is blocked. Traffic stop back to I-70. Eastbound 72 downtown. It's already bumping here. Jammed from Harding Street on into Meridian, Illinois, as we reroute around the delay and the closure. Traffic sponsored by Macy's Backstage. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? Great Father's Day gifts for $20 and under, like classic polos, grill accessories, grooming sets, and more. Find the latest trends and new arrivals at a Macy's Backstage store near you. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy, cooler, and a bit gusty with some scattered showers possible. Today's high 66. Scattered showers and storms possible later tonight, a low of 56. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weird?
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. Earlier, a carnival atmosphere at the courthouse in Miami where Donald Trump was arraigned. I believe he gave the big middle finger to the prosecution and said, yeah, not guilty on all 37 counts, right? Basically.
Paraphrasing, yes. I don't believe there was an actual middle finger that was raised. But with Donald Trump, sometimes you never know.
I thought it would have been awesome if he walked out of the courthouse wearing a Hawaiian shirt, like a straw hat, board shorts, and flip-flops. All right, everybody, let's go golfing.
He's got double-fisted Diet Cokes, a bag of McDonald's in his hand. This whole indictment's really cramping my style. He's got a T-shirt on under the Hawaiian shirt. Somebody went to Mar-a-Lago, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt.
If he wanted to really endear himself to his supporters that were standing outside that courthouse with all the pro-Trump flags, he would have had McDonald's delivered. I mean, is there no doubt that Donald Trump could pull something like that off?
Well, he's fresh off of a Waffle House stunt, so...
Oh, that's right.
Again, maybe there were options up there. So earlier today, Donald Trump pled not guilty to 37 charges in the classified documents case having to do with Mar-a-Lago. And if you're waiting for a mugshot, you're not going to get it. If you're waiting for Donald Trump to be pictured in handcuffs, not going to get it, because none of those things happened today. And we should know this because even though this is a federal indictment as opposed to the state-issued one from New York or New York City, there was nothing exciting about that one either. They're treating him like a former president of the United States. No mugshot, electronic fingerprints, all that kind of stuff. And if you're wanting that iconic picture of him in handcuffs, you're going to have to use AI.
Well, I mean, we already saw the AI photo that Ron DeSantis used of Trump kissing Fauci. One of those political attack ads.
So today, man, this comes basically just a few months after he was charged by Fat Alvin in that Manhattan grand jury in the hush money case to Stormy Daniels. Again, Trump from the very beginning has denied all wrongdoing, not only in the New York case, but here in the classified documents case as well. He's expected to speak tonight. So he's going back to New Jersey, Bedminster, New Jersey, at a resort, and he's doing a fundraiser. So
yeah, it's his place. That's the Trump Tower or whatever. Yeah.
I'm curious, how much money is he going to raise in the next 24 hours?
I mean, in the 24 to 48 hours after he was indicted there in Manhattan, he raised what, $8 million. This is on a bigger level. This is on a federal level, and what doesn't kill Trump only makes him stronger. The polls are through the roof right now for Donald Trump, and I think we're going to see the same thing happen here again.
So one of the questions that we've been asking for a while, is this a win-win for the Democrats? Because on one hand, you get to try to humiliate Donald Trump. You get to arrest him, make him go through this whole procedure. And on the other hand, you know his poll numbers are going to go up. Donald Trump is going to be the nominee unless something drastic happens here. But the Democrats feel like they can beat Donald Trump in a general because they've done it before.
Only if you believe that the Democrats can beat Trump in the general is it a win-win for the Democrats.
Right. And I think they feel that way.
It's been a tumultuous 4 years for Joe Biden. People, even Democrats, think his age is a problem. He is a feeble old fool that has fallen down more times than my 2-year-old did back in the day.
And I get that.
The economy is crap. The Afghanistan thing is still just makes me sick to my stomach. The border is porous. We had Chinese spy balloons floating across our country. It has not been 4 years of excellence for Joe Biden.
And I 100% agree with you. But he won the last time around, and really not much has changed. Is he more feeble? Yes. Has he made more bad decisions? Sure. But he was doing that, the last couple of years. This dude was a gaffe machine before he got elected. You ain't black, and the 7-Eleven Indian accent stuff. And this dude's been a clown for as long as he's been in Washington, and he beat Donald Trump. Not because he's good. I mean, look at him. But nobody brings out the I hate this guy voter like Donald Trump does.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, how many people have voted for somebody in the past, not because you love the candidate, but you hate the other guy? And I think Donald Trump is the other guy that people love to hate. So I don't know what's changed in Wisconsin or Pennsylvania, Arizona, maybe Georgia. These swing states that Donald Trump lost the last time around, I just don't know, man. I don't know if he can win the general election. Here is Trump's attorney, Lindsay Halligan, talking about this whole situation.
I've met these people. I was there at the raid. They wouldn't let me inside the property to see what they were doing. They asked for the cameras to be turned off. Why? Then they publicized a staged photo of the alleged classified documents thrown on the floor, as if that's what his office looks like on a daily basis. I was also there at the special counsel hearing where they didn't want a neutral third party. Then they leaked that there were nuclear secrets in the documents they found. Then they compelled attorneys' testimonies, and Judge Howell eviscerated the most sacred privilege we have, attorney-client privilege, allowing the Department of Justice to question one of President Trump's attorneys about his privileged communications with the president. Then they ostensibly scoffed at our allegations of prosecutorial misconduct, which this investigation has been riddled with from the beginning. Now they indicted him. I don't think they'll stop here. They have one shot to block him from the White House, and make no mistake, their goal is to put him in prison. So it's time for battle, and hopefully we'll win.
That's absolutely their goal, and Trump's lawyers need to prove and show that this prosecution is politically motivated. Trump being indicted has nothing to do with national security and nuclear codes. He wasn't going to sell these documents to anybody. Nobody was going to steal them. Is he guilty of being reckless? Probably. I mean, like if this tape really exists and he was telling people that he had documents and showing them to people that shouldn't have seen them, then that's a problem. But look, Hillary Clinton had classified documents that were leaked to foreign adversaries, and everybody just kind of looked at each other and threw their hands up and said, I mean, Hillrod's documents were most likely snatched by foreign entities. Trump had classified documents in the crapper with the chandelier next to the toilet and the $10 shower curtain. This is politically motivated.
Well, speaking of being politically motivated, there's an opportunity for the other Republican candidates. At least they view it that way. So earlier today, Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yeah.
This guy, he was out there in front of the courthouse soaking in his moment in the sun, right? Now, he's polling at like 1 or 2%. He's not going to win.
I like the guy.
I like some of the things he has to say. But this sounded like a guy that really wanted to be somebody's vice president. Take a listen to Ramaswamy earlier today.
This is an announcement of a letter that my campaign has sent to every other campaign in this race, to Mike Pence, to Nikki Haley, to Larry Elder, to RFK Jr., to Marianne Williamson, to Doug Burgum, to Perry Johnson, to Chris Christie, to Ron DeSantis, the governor of the state where we are today, who by any measure is not here today in his own state. I will tell you that we have sent this letter, and I'm happy to announce this is my commitment on January 20th, 2025, if I'm elected the next U.S. president, to pardon Donald J. Trump for these offenses in this federal case. And I have challenged, I have demanded that every other candidate in this race either sign this commitment to pardon on January 20th, 2025, or else to explain why they are not.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Chris Christie's going to wipe that document with his butt.
I love Ramaswamy thinks this is like the ice bucket challenge. Now I nominate Chris Christie to sign this document.
He's a great orator. I can't wait for the debates. I can't wait to hear him on stage. I'd like the guy, like you said, he's at what, 1 or 2%.
Right.
I get that he's probably, but again, like a lot of people in the GOP field right now, not everybody, he's probably looking for a position in a cabinet, in a Republican administration, if indeed they do beat Joe Biden.
So like you said, Nige, I just got a feeling, just a hunch, that Chris Christie is not going to sign that document based on what he said last night on his CNN town hall.
When did we get to the point where we're always blaming our adversaries for the weakness of our candidates? Oh, it's the Democrats' fault. It's DOJ's fault. It's this person's fault. It's the media's fault. How about it's his? He hasn't won a damn thing since 2016. 3-time loser. 2018, we lost the House. 2020, we lost the White House. We lost the United States Senate a couple of weeks later in 2021. And in 2022, we lost 2 more governorships, another Senate seat, and barely took the House of Representatives when Joe Biden had the most incompetent first 2 years I've ever seen in my life. Loser, loser, loser. Now we're getting going, it'll be different this time. Why? Why will it be different this time? Those arguments need to be made, and I'm not afraid to make them. For 2 reasons. 1, I'm not afraid of him. And 2, it's the truth.
I realized after listening to that, you could substitute the name Trump for the Chicago Cubs right there. You haven't won anything since 2016. Loser, loser, loser. And I'm not afraid to criticize the Ricketts family. I feel you. When it comes to the Cubs, I could just steal the entire speech and change a few names. All right, Matt Baer, what's up?
East side, southbound 465 stops before 70 down to Washington. Because of an earlier traffic hazard, it has cleared. Traffic is still stopped. Eastbound 70 stop and go 2 downtown. That's before Holt Road to Meridian, Illinois. And on the west side, southbound 465 stop and go traffic. Washington down to Sam Jones Expressway. Traffic sponsored by the LASIK Center. TLC Laser Eye Centers is the doctor's choice for LASIK. Get $1,000 off LASIK when treated in June. That's $500 off per eye plus guaranteed financing. Visit save on TLC.com for details. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
So again, Trump pleading not guilty to 37 charges in the classified documents case. Right now, we got cloudy skies, 68 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Now through month end, get summer road trip ready at Hubler, where every new car includes their 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Visit drivehubler.com.
So this week is dance camp for Emmy. Blake's new baseball team practices on Tuesday and Thursday.
Oh, I'm tired just thinking about all of that. And summer just started.
Oh, and we still need to get the AC looked at. It's still too hot in the kids' rooms, and I do not want summer sleepovers to be sweat fests.
Now that is an easy one.
At Mr. Quick, we keep your AC system running smoothly all summer. Call Mr. Quick today and get $54 off any AC repair. And now you can easily schedule online at callmrquick.com.
Call Mr. Quick for on time.
Hey, as much as I'd love being a homeowner, I'm lucky enough to be a homeowner. There's certain problems that come along with being a homeowner. Right now, we're going through this thing with my driveway where, like, it's falling to pieces, and we're going to have to get it replaced. So that's what I'm focused on right now. What I'm not worried about is my American Standard air conditioner. And if you need American Standard service, make sure and see
Family Heating and Air Conditioning, the Morris family and staff, ready to help you out this spring and summer. You could call Rachel, you could call Marcus, or you could call Malia today to make sure that AC is ready for the hot summer, hopefully hot summer that lies ahead. Family Heating and Air always encourages you to call them for a free second opinion, even if you've already got a quote from somebody else. If something doesn't look right, you could call Family. Nobody cares for you like Family. 317-577-8077. Family Heating and Air. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
Get a great deal on versatile Kubota equipment today, like Kubota BX and L Series compact tractors, part of our tractor lineup rated #1 in durability and owner experience, Z Series mowers, and Sidekick utility vehicles. Stop by your local Kubota dealer today. Bring home select BX Series equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 72 months, plus save up to $800 now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details.
Stop by McAllister Machinery in Fishers and Indianapolis to see their full line of Kubota, or visit them online at McAllisterKubota.com.
We love spring showers, but not from leaky faucets, burst pipes, or flooded basements. If you're dealing with plumbing issues, call Justin Dorsey Plumbing. We're ready to spring into action. Call 317-648-2140 for 24/7 service and no after-hours fees. That's 317-648-2140. Don't cry about your plumbing problems. Call today, fix today is the Justin Dorsey Plumbing way.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go: shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms: irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit NoTimeToWait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here. If you're dusting off your hose for the first time since last year and notice the water isn't flowing, might be an issue with the hose bib. My friends at Hope Plumbing want to give you a deal and help you to have some fun in the sun and keep your grass green this summer. During the month of June, if you install one hose bib, Hope will give you a second hose bib at half price. Call Hope Plumbing today at 641-HOPE or visit them online at hopeplumbing.com.
Do you wonder what your home is worth in an ever-changing housing market?
Did you know that your home's value changes constantly due to mortgage rate changes, seasonality, and what other homes near you have recently sold for?
I'm Greg Cooper.
And I'm Lisa Phillips.
And we want to be your real estate resource not only when you move, but even when you aren't.
Our passion is to serve Central Indiana homeowners with the best information and advocacy available.
Try us out. Find out what your home is worth online right now at HoosierHomeValues2023.com.
That's HoosierHomeValues2023.com.
You set them up and I'll knock them back, Lloyd. One by one.
We are gonna read Booze News, cause it's really fun.
Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Hammer and Nigel present Booze News, Booze News. Yeah. Time for Booze News. Hammer country singer Garth Brooks facing boycotts.
Uh-oh.
After saying his new bar in Nashville would serve all beers, including Bud Light.
Bum, bum, bum.
I think Garth's bar is going to be just fine, for the record. So again, the whole Bud Light thing is still, the sales are on a downward trajectory. They're no longer, in May, they were no longer the #1 beer in the country. That was taken over by Modelo, which is a Mexican lager. And this all has to do with them hiring Dylan Mulvaney, the trans dude that, likes to cosplay as a little girl, and allowing him to be a digital influencer.
Bud Light's become a laughing stock, though. Like, that name has become like a punchline.
It's just kind of taken off, and it's really has nothing to do. I never really thought it had to do with. I'd never heard of Dylan Mulvaney before this. I thought it really had to do with the head of the marketing saying that we don't like our customer base, basically, on a podcast. This woman that put Dylan Mulvaney as a digital influencer with Bud Light says our customer base is too fratty. So So that really, I kind of think, lit a firestorm here.
I think it was both, man. I really think it was both. Because she feels that way.
Yeah.
Heinerschneid.
Yeah, that's her
because
name.
Heinerschneid felt that way and thought, okay, this is the direction we need to go. A dude who puts on panties. That backfired on your target audience of red-blooded dudes who eat chicken wings and watch football.
Yeah, so here's what Garth said. And yes, I'm quoting here, and yes, we're going to serve every brand of beer. We just are. It's not our decision to make. Our thing is this. If you are or if you're let into this house, love one another. If you're an a-hole, there are plenty of other places on Lower Broadway.
Well, and the thing is, I don't think anybody is saying that Bud Light shouldn't exist. You just don't have to buy it. And it looks like, based on the numbers, people aren't buying it. They're getting Coors or Miller.
And again, the beer that took over, Modelo, is still, I'm reminded, my buddy GT just texted me, it's still Anheuser-Busch. But there's something weird in America where Anheuser-Busch doesn't run it in America, but they run it in the rest of it. But whatever. I think the point is that Bud Light sales have precipitously dropped. And it's getting kind of ugly for them in the department. Now, is there really people going to boycott Garth Brooks Bar in Nashville because they have Bud Light? Give me a break.
So if you've been to Nashville, Broadway's the main strip, right? And that's where all of these big, ginormous, honky-tonk bars are.
Right.
Jason Aldean's got one, and everybody's got one, right? That's a big name. Well, now Garth Brooks is getting in the business. His is going to be opening soon, and of course, he's opening up during the Bud Light controversy. Now, John Rich of Big and Rich, he's got a bar there, the Redneck Riviera.
Did you go there? Did you try to go there when you were there the last time?
I did.
How was it?
It was good. I mean, it's a smaller one compared to some of these ones up and down Broadway.
He's been on with us before, right?
Yeah, friend of the show.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. Super conservative. I mean, he's not afraid to put himself out there. And he was asked if he agrees with Garth Brooks' decision to serve every brand of beer at his upcoming Nashville honky tonk. Here's what John Rich had to say about Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks has always been the guy that said, everybody come to my show. You know, he makes his music for everybody. And that really is what music's about. You're making your music for everybody. Beer's for everybody, too. If Garth is serving Bud Light in his bar, that's fine. Garth can do that. Garth might find out not many people are going to order it. And at the end of the day, you have to put things in your establishment that people are going to purchase if you're going to run a successful business. He probably sees the pain and division that's going on in the country and wants to try to help that. Good for him. I wish him the best.
Well, that's a well thought out, reasoned comment. And of course, you're going to have customers that don't even know this is going on.
I was wondering how that was going to go, though, because with John Rich, again, he's not afraid to spit a little fire. I could also see him going, I hope he fails.
Well,
choke on your tranny juice.
They are competitive. They are competitors, right?
Right.
Typically,
right.
Competitors don't often encourage patrons to go to other bars. They want them to come to their bar. He just said, yeah, I got rid of Bud Light a long time ago. I pulled a Kid Rock and stacked them all out in the back of the parking lot and blew them away with an AK-47.
Yeah, I had no idea which direction that statement from John Rich was going to go, but he took the high road. That's probably the best. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Window Nation has installed nearly 2 million windows with 96% perfection, making them one of the top window companies in the country. And the windows are made right here locally in the Midwest, okay? So you can save 30% on your energy bills and increase the value of your home by up to $12,000. I have Window Nation windows. I love them. Give them a call right now, 866-90NATION, or go to windownation.com.
No money down, no payments, no interest for 2 years. 000 for 2 years. And that's on top of the existing deal where you can buy 2 windows and get 2 for free. Any style of window from Window Nation, and there's no limit. The more you buy, the more free ones you get. Save thousands of dollars, and again, 000 for 2 years. Call Window Nation to lock it in. 866-90NATION, or go to windownation.com and tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Have you saved enough? Do you have a plan for Social Security and taxes in retirement? Hey, Casey Weed of Howard Bailey Financial, where our mission is to help you gain clarity and purpose and elevate meaning in your life through personal and practical financial strategies. That's why we want to give you our Retire with Purpose Toolkit at no cost. In it, you'll find valuable information on minimizing taxes, maximizing Social Security, and building a retirement income you can't outlive. Plus, you'll receive a copy of my book, Job Optional. To get your complimentary toolkit, call or text the keyword INFO 42 to 866-482-9559. That's INFO 42 to 866-482-9559.
Howard Bailey Financial is the official wealth management partner of Notre Dame Athletics. Notre Dame Athletics was compensated for this endorsement and is not a current client of Howard Bailey. For more information, please visit howardbailey.com/ND disclosure. Investment advisory services may be offered through Howard Bailey Securities LLC, a registered investment advisor. Working with Howard Bailey Securities LLC cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
That kitchen or bath remodel you've been ready to start? With inflation rising, waiting is just going to make it more expensive. Start that remodel today. Hey, it's Tony Katz for Booher Remodeling. BOOHER. BooherRemodeling.com. Get on the schedule now to avoid some of those price increases. Booher Remodeling is the finest remodeler in Central Indiana with the best materials and most skilled craftsmen. They'll guide you through the entire process to make your vision come to life. Go to BooherRemodeling.com to set up your free consultation. BooherRemodeling.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
Pleading not guilty. 68 degrees, cloudy in downtown Indianapolis. Your radar's clear around central Indiana. You might see some rain before day's end. Tonight's low drops to 59. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:31. Former President Donald Trump has pleaded not guilty to federal charges related to his handling of classified documents. He was at an arraignment hearing at a federal courthouse in Miami today with hundreds of supporters outside. He's the first former president to be indicted on federal charges. The White House says they're not involved in any of this Trump investigation.
The president has been very, very clear. The Department of Justice is independent.
Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says that's why the administration won't say much, if anything, about the criminal case. Trump claims President Biden is using the DOJ to go after a political rival. Missing 2-year-old Nair and his non-custodial mother, Najee Jackson, were found this afternoon, says IMPD. They had been missing since June 11th and were found safe. Police are still investigating exactly what happened. Robbery and auto theft are the charges against 3 teenagers in Indianapolis. John Herrick explains what happened.
IMPD says 3 teenagers stole someone's car on West 10th Street on Indy's northeast side around 2 o'clock Monday morning, and they caught them on West 16th Street. The teenagers are a 15 and a 17-year-old boy and a 17-year-old girl. They say the girl had marijuana on her as well. One of the boys also had a gun and a prior criminal charge on his record. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Indiana Congresswoman Erin Houchin is pushing for a bill to restrict the White House's authority to ban certain firearm braces, which have now been made illegal by the ATF. She questioned experts in a committee hearing yesterday.
Mr. Klein, does the Second Amendment to the United States Constitution exclude veterans?
No.
Does the Second Amendment exclude disabled adults?
No.
Houchin believes the ban violates the Second Amendment rights of disabled Americans and veterans who she says need the braces in order to be able to shoot. You might be feeling a little bit better about inflation in the U.S., but Dr. Matt Will, an economist with the University of Indianapolis, says the numbers don't back that up.
The consumer believes that inflation is here to stay for a longer period of time.
He tells WIBC's Tony Katz that a recent report from the Fed shows that 2 to 5 year expectations regarding inflation by consumers are higher. That means you're getting used to the way inflation is hitting your wallet. Traffic and weather is next. Your time is 3:33.
Summer's in Indy. And since 2001, Rhino Shield has been covering Indiana homes and businesses. Just ask Mike.
I was watching TV one night and saw the Rhino Shield ad. And I thought, well, if they can do a house, they can probably do a building.
And Rhino Shield's not paint. It's better.
So they came out and they gave me a price, showed me how the Rhino works, how it lasts, and how the guarantee works.
Business owners, you too can get the 25-year protection of Rhino Shield right now for 10% off the regular price.
They started on the building. They waited for us to leave, and they worked Saturday and Sunday so they wouldn't affect our business at all. This was the great part of it. I came back Sunday night, and you couldn't even tell they were here. There was no paint on the ground. They did a fantastic job.
Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
Don't
Paint Vinyl. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
With traffic at 334, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison eastbound 70 stop and going to downtown. It is big time. Sam Jones Expressway to Meridian, Illinois. We stop around Belmont to Harding, and then we drag all the way into the South Split. Eastbound 465 northeast side stop and go around Keystone. And then we have southbound 465 on the east side loading around Washington. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Imagine the possibilities of getting the backyard of your dreams. Expand your living space with an Indy Decorative Concrete patio. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts. Big enough to service, small enough to care. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy, cooler, and a bit gusty with some scattered showers possible. Today's high 66. Scattered showers and storms possible later tonight, a low of 56. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on The Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff.
The Iowa Republican Senator, Old Man Grassley, Chuck Grassley, who's going to be 90 later this year, is part of this oversight committee wanting to look at that FBI document with the whistleblower and the allegations of bribery with Joe Biden when he was vice president under Obama. So now he's saying that this foreign national, the whistleblower, has audio recordings, Hammer. He's got tape, 17 of them. What is it, like 15 of these tapes include Hunter Biden and a couple of them include Joe Biden,
who was the vice president at the time.
Whoa.
If this thing exists, this is big, because all we have right now is Chuck Grassley saying that it exists. But if you take him at his word, this is going to be a game changer. Here's Old Man Grassley on the floor.
The 1023 produced to the House committees redacted reference that the foreign national who allegedly bribed Joe and Hunter Biden allegedly has audio recordings of his conversation with them. 17 such recordings. According to the 1023, the foreign national possesses 15 audio recordings of phone calls between him and Hunter Biden. According to the 1023, the foreign national possesses 2 audio recordings of phone calls between him and then Vice President Joe Biden. These recordings were allegedly kept as a sort of insurance policy for the foreign national in case that he got into a tight spot. The 1023 also indicates that then Vice President Joe Biden may have been involved in Burisma employing Hunter Biden.
Wow, he is one big ball of energy, isn't he?
He's 110 years old, Nigel. Just be happy he's standing up there speaking. He's still more coherent than Biden, who he's investigating. But again,
I mean, look,
I need to hear it. If this thing exists, let's go. Bring it out there.
Well, what's odd to me is that the same day that Donald Trump is quote unquote indicted on federal charges, Espionage Act classified documents, is the same day that the House committee was allowed to look at the Burisma bribe claims and that document that the FBI has. Can somebody say distraction?
And if you really want to go down a rabbit hole, based on the information acquired from the 1023 here, at the same time Donald Trump was being impeached for allegedly shaking down Zelensky for questions about Burisma, the FBI had information from a credible source claiming Burisma bribed the Bidens.
I mean, Biden is on tape saying he wants that prosecutor that was investigating Burisma, that Ukrainian prosecutor, fired. And guess what happened? They fired him.
That's a hell of a lot more damning than anything Donald Trump told Zelensky.
Say so.
And again, I need Grassley and the Good Time Party boys, though. You can't just talk about this. If this thing exists, you got to find it. you got to get it. And if you get your hands on it, does anybody have any sort of faith that Merrick Garland and the Department of Justice and all the other folks involved here are going to do anything? That's kind of where we're at right now. People have such little faith in getting a fair shake from the government.
If you are an Antifa member protesting outside a Supreme Court justice's house illegally, then that's fine. That is totally okay. If you are Hunter Biden getting paid, trading off your dad's name while he's vice president and giving 10% to the big guy, that's okay. But if you're Donald Trump and you got some classified documents in the crapper, boy, we better get on this immediately. It is such a double standard. There is a two-tiered system of the Justice Department right now, and it's transparent. It's obvious. I mean, for God's sake, Joe Biden has documents laying around in his garage. How did Trump describe his garage door?
Paper thin.
Yeah, like
paper thin. Tonight, we are supposed to get a new drop from Tucker Carlson, Nige. Now, Tucker was going to put out another one of the Tucker on Twitter videos that has to do with Donald Trump and the indictment. But the fine folks at Fox are trying to put a stop to that because they sent Tucker a cease and desist.
Oh, they sent the letter, huh?
So Fox News is still paying Tucker, and they claim that any content that he has must remain exclusive to Fox News through December 31st, 2024, after the presidential election. But Tucker's argument is, I'm not getting paid by anybody. Twitter's not paying me. I've got a right to go on social media and do a video. So now we're playing the feud here. We got legal stuff in play.
I mean, look at how many times his two videos have been viewed, like over 170 million between the two of them.
Right.
What was he getting a night on average on cable news? Like 3
About
million?
3 million, 3.3 million.
So crazy. He's reaching so many more people on this platform than he ever would have with cable news. And that's going to drive them nuts.
And Fox just posted the worst primetime numbers they've had in a long time. If you look at the numbers that Fox released from this past Friday, they're getting their doors blown off by Rachel Maddow. They're getting beat by a lot of people. This is bad for Fox News right now. It's not just Tucker's 8 o'clock that's taking some hits. Everybody around is down. Hannity's numbers are down. Laura Ingram's down. They're going to have to make some changes really quickly if they're going to try to rescue this thing, because right now MSNBC is beating the brakes off of Fox in key primetime demos. Also, we've got some more legal stuff here, Nige. JP Morgan Chase announced a tentative $290 million settlement with the victims of Jeffrey Epstein, who had accused the bank of being the financial backer that allowed Epstein to continue operating Pedophile Island.
Okay, so JP Morgan Chase has to pay out $290 million to Epstein's victims.
Yes.
Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's pimp that would go and procure the underage girls, is in jail.
Yes.
Epstein's dead.
Yes.
Again, JP Morgan being punished for doing business with Epstein.
Mm-hmm.
When are the Epstein clients who had sex with these underage girls on Pervert Island going to be punished?
Thank you. Standing ovation.
Is it ever going to happen? Does law enforcement anywhere have a list of people that were participating in the absolute gross awfulness that was going on at Pedophile Island?
Oh, there's a list. There's a list, but Leaking Lion James Comey's daughter sealed it up. Now, mind you, she wasn't the defense for Ghislaine Maxwell. She was the prosecutor, but still sealed up the document of all the folks that may or may not have been having sex with underage girls.
I mean, if you're one of Epstein's victims, and there were many, and we talked to a victim's lawyer, I believe last year or the year before, don't you want some justice? I realize you've got settlement after settlement and money,
And that's a lot. That's a huge amount. And I don't know how many victims this is going to, but don't you want some justice for these old perverts that were taking advantage of you?
Technically, Ghislaine Maxwell is locked up right now for sex trafficking to nobody, because nobody else has been charged with Pedophile Island right now. Jeffrey Epstein's dead. He was suicided or commit suicide, whatever you want to think. But Ghislaine Maxwell had a trial, is locked up for sex trafficking. Okay, to who? Who was she trafficking? We need names here. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. I guarantee you, if that list was nothing but Republicans, Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, Matt Gaetz, whoever it was, that list would have been out years ago. But it's still sealed up thanks to the prosecutor, Lincoln Lion James Comey's daughter. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Rob, I'm going to throw a number out at you.
Let's do it.
12.4%.
Ooh, sounds juicy. What is it?
Okay, well, between you and your employer, you've contributed as much as 12.4% of every paycheck to Social Security.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, well, if you add it up over 40 years, it could make your IRA and 401k contributions look like chump change. And that's why you want to be 100% certain you don't leave one thin dime on the table.
Hey, it's Kendall and Casey. Learn how you could wring every nickel out of your benefits with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy. If you've saved more than $200,000 and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis by calling 317-932-9912.
This free analysis pinpoints exactly how to get the most out of your benefits. Call Bill Demery today. That number, 317-932-9912. 317-932-9912.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Indiana Foundation Service. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at indianafoundation.com.
Fellas, June is National Men's Health Month, which is a good time to remind you to take care of your health. We recommend going to the Low T Center. It's typically completely covered by most health insurance, and if you don't have insurance, it's less than $100 for full labs and an office visit with the provider.
The Low T Center specializes in men's health, making it quick and easy. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment online. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's health care.
Hello, this is Don Steffi, Executive Director for the Indianapolis Ballet, and I want to personally thank everyone who made this past season such a wonderful success. Whether single ticket buyers, subscribers, donors, volunteers, or corporate and foundation supporters, a sincere thank you is extended to you all from our board, staff, and dancers. Let's have another dance together next year, shall we? As we present a new season of great performances by your Indianapolis Ballet. Thank you.
Have you lost Indiana Medicaid? At healthcare.gov, you can find a low-cost, quality health plan.
Do plans cover doctor visits?
What about emergency care?
And prescriptions?
All covered and more. Plus, with the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
What is 988? It's a way forward. It's a listening ear. It's whatever help you need, when you need it. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline offers trained crisis specialists, ready to talk to you 24/7. If you or someone you love is experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis in their life, call or text 988. Want more information? Visit 988indiana.org.
Preventive maintenance works. Well cleaning and bacteria sampling with offer code SPRING23. Call C&J at 317-852-WELL or cjforwater.com.
I'd rather be folding laundry.
This is gonna be fun.
Said no one ever. Also, no one enjoys wasting time in traffic. That's why we love saving you time. Matt Baird Traffic.
Backups are already starting.
On 93 WIBC.
Again, Donald Trump pleading not guilty to 37 counts of classified documents at Mar-a-Lago, getting ready to leave the Miami court right now. We'll have more coming up here in just a moment. We'll have a very special guest joining us. We'll tell you about that in just a moment. Matt Bear, what's up?
Southside crash on the ramp from westbound 465 to Harding. The ramp is open, but it is partially blocked. And with the eastbound closure on the south side, eastbound S70 is going crazy. Of course, stop and go traffic from Sam Jones to Meridian, Illinois. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Imagine the possibilities of getting the backyard of your dreams. Expand your living space with an Indy Decorative Concrete patio. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts, big enough to serve, small enough to care. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up a little bit after 4 o'clock, Raven Harrison will join us.
Oh, she's good.
She spits fire, man. She gets fired up. Political consultant. I think she's a Boilermaker as well. So we're going to talk to her coming up a little bit after 4 o'clock. Right now, 68 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
By the way, breaking news here, Hammer. We were talking about Senator Chuck Grassley, saying that he has, basically exposed yesterday that a Burisma executive secretly recorded conversations with Joe Biden, Burisma, the energy company in Ukraine, where Hunter Biden sat on the board. And now Grassley saying this executive, this whistleblower, has recorded tapes of Joe Biden accepting bribes, $5 million to fire the prosecutor. Headline: Biden approves 40th Ukraine aid package, bringing the total sent to $40 billion. Is it too much for me to put on a tinfoil hat and say this guy might be compromised? I don't know.
I wonder if a stipulation of that was, you better find a way to get rid of those recordings.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like it could have been going on for years.
You take that little thumb drive you got over there of all of our conversations, you toss it into a fire, and then maybe, just maybe, Santa will bring you $40 billion.
Another blank check, $40 billion total. Well, this latest package is $325 million.
Oh, is that all?
So I just think it's funny coming off the heels, again, of Senator Grassley leading this oversight committee, looking into the investigation with Hunter Biden and Joe Biden. It's now saying this Burisma executive has secretly recorded tapes. Seems a little fishy to me.
Remember when Donald Trump asked for $5 billion to build the wall, and everybody's head spun around like Beetlejuice? What?
We can't afford that.
What are we going to do? Where are we going to get that kind of money? And now Joe Biden sneezes, and that kind of money comes out, and it goes to Ukraine. All right. According to a new survey, it shows that around 45% of American couples fight about the thermostat settings. Do you and Mrs. Nige fight about the thermostat?
Maybe during the day, but it's really very subtle. It's very understated. Like, I'll walk past the thermostat and I'll turn it down like 2 degrees. And then an hour later, I walk past it and it's back up 3 degrees more. I mean, really?
Not only did she put it back, she got one up on you.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not exactly in your face, screaming and shouting. Now, the one thing we do agree on is because our house is older, and those old houses, it gets so hot upstairs at night during the summer.
Right.
So it's down to 66, 65 degrees because all our bedrooms are upstairs. And so the one thing we do agree on is that we need to crank it down. But yeah, during the day, if I'm a little warm on a Saturday, I'll just kind of, knock it down a couple, and then about an hour later, it's back to where it was and even worse.
We just got a new thermostat
Very
put
passive
in.
aggressive. You did?
Oh, the awesome folks at B&W from American Standard came out to the Hammer House, and my old thermostat, you'd have to almost go Mike Tyson's Punch Out on it just to get it to go up or down. And now you can touch it, and it's just the absolute best, man. Those guys are rock stars.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
so,
they did. Who was it?
B&W.
Yeah, they did mine too.
Yep, they rolled in. Man, they were in and out.
Yeah.
I drove up yesterday, got in the driveway, looked at the all-new system. Single tear comes out of my eye.
Isn't that beautiful?
Like, this is such an old guy thing to take pride in, right? Look at that all-new air conditioning system. You go in the house, oh, my God, I could just barely touch the thermostat, and it moves now. This is amazing.
I got something accomplished over the weekend I never thought I'd be able to do on my own. I was very proud of myself.
What'd you do?
We got a new Gorilla goal. And instead of having spending $300, $400 to come install it, did it myself with the help of a couple neighbors.
Solid.
Built it in the garage. It wasn't that complicated.
Was there a dunk contest held afterwards? Because there had to be.
They let Connor, my 11-year-old, be the first to shoot on it afterwards. He missed the first shot, drained it second.
Nice. There you go.
Felt like a real man for a couple hours.
Were you walking around grunting like Tim Allen? Latest on Donald Trump, the indictment, the arraignment. Raven Harrison joins us next.
All know that feeling. Unexpectedly, the car breaks down, costing you hundreds or thousands of dollars from your emergency fund. Protect yourself and your car with Ox Car Care. Avoid the headaches and save thousands of dollars on repairs. You don't pay, Ox pays. Get 0 repair bills and 0 headaches. Ox takes care of their claims from start to finish. Unlike the other warranty companies, Ox Car Care members get free oil changes, free tire rotations, and free roadside assistance. We have a 30-day money-back guarantee and are A+ rated with the BBB. Drive with peace of mind, like our friend Bill Oberlin, professional race car driver.
Hi, I'm Bill Oberlin. My cars mean everything to my success. The same goes for my personal cars, too. That's why I trust Ox Car Care to make sure I'm covered when expenses and repairs come up. Ox Car Care has my back, and they'll have yours, too.
Drive with peace of mind. Call Ox Car Care for a free quote. 800-240-1465. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care. 800-240-1465. 800-240-1465. Or oxcarcare.com.
My old garage had cracks all over the place. It was uneven in some spots. It'd never been taken care of. That is until Galaxy Concrete Coatings got a hold of it. Within a day, my new Galaxy Concrete garage floor looked out of this world. They could do your garage, your basement, your pool deck, or any indoor or outdoor area concrete. But if you have a gross garage floor like I did, call Galaxy right now. Go to the website, see before and after pictures, get a quote, concretecoatings.com, or call them at 751-9070.
Hank Williams Jr. Are you ready for the contract? Live in concert. It's a family tradition. The Bad Boy. With special guest Old Crow Medicine Show. Alabama women. This Saturday, Ruoff Music Center. I put it apart and I was born to boogie. All my rowdy friends are coming. On sale now at livenation.com. Part of the Coors Light Concert Series.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm attorney Darryl Isaacs, the Hammer. Have you been injured by a dog bite? Let us take on the big insurance companies, and we'll fight to get you the money you deserve. Go to WeWin.com for your free case evaluation. Just click and get help quick. Go to WeWin.com. That's WeWin.com.
One great benefit that comes with getting old is that you've seen it all. For nearly 200 years, Old National Bank has been there, an established financial partner, serving the community right in the community. Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Get old.
911, what's your emergency?
Por favor, necesito ayuda. Está volando y creo que me va a pegar otra vez.
I will get someone to speak with you. Please stay on the line.
Hola, tengo su ubicación. Ayuda está en camino.
Getting past a language barrier is critical when first responders help Hoosiers. That's why the State 911 Board provides special tools for non-English speaking citizens to communicate with emergency services.
Si estás en peligro, aunque no hables inglés, podrás recibir ayuda en una emergencia rápidamente.
All Indiana 911 centers began offering translation services in over 240 languages in 2019. Now, people can send text messages for help in their native language to 911 and receive a translated text back from the dispatcher. It's of great help to the deaf and speech impaired and to those in select dangerous situations.
Cuando llame o envíe un texto al 911, un servicio de traducción se asegurará que entiendan lo que está diciendo.
For more information, visit in911.net.
Gracias.
911. Before you text, voice is best.
Coming up in 2 minutes, jail time for a woman who used milk crates to carry 2 babies, how Indy plans to keep repeat criminals from repeating their crimes, and one economist says lower inflation may not mean what you think. That's coming up after Fox News Radio for the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis.
This is a Fox News alert. Arraignment day for the former president. I'm Lisa Brady. Donald Trump enters a plea during his first court appearance on federal charges, accused of mishandling classified documents and obstruction in a 37-count indictment.
Former President Trump and his personal assistant, Walt Nauta, who are both charged in this indictment, both replied not guilty when asked for a plea by the magistrate judge. The former president was very quiet and stoic. He did whisper to his attorneys, but did not appear to say much else out loud inside the courtroom.
Fox's Evan Brown in Miami. Trump has been released without restrictions. Federal prosecutors telling the judge they do not consider him to be a flight risk. He will head back to New Jersey, where he is scheduled to hold a campaign rally tonight. One of the other Republican presidential candidates, Vivek Ramaswamy, has filed a Freedom of Information Act request aimed at any communications between the White House special prosecutor and attorney general about the indictment.
It would be easier for me if President Trump were eliminated from competition in this race. But I wanted to stand on the side of principle to do what so many in the mainstream news media refuse to do, which is to actually be skeptical.
Telling Fox News he wants to get to the bottom of what he sees as a politicized indictment. White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre gets a warning from the special counsel's office about violating the Hatch Act by using Trump's MAGA acronym to criticize Republican policies during White House briefings.
I'm not going to get into any back and forth about this.
She is defending herself, though, arguing during today's briefing that the Trump White House used MAGA in official agendas. Wall Street rallies after some encouraging inflation news. The Dow up 145 points at the bell. The NASDAQ also up more than 100. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
How much time she'll spend behind bars. Cloudy and 68 in downtown Indianapolis. Radar shows a bit of rain to the west of Indy with chances for off and on rain for most of the evening. Tonight's low drops to 59. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. You may remember an Indianapolis woman arrested last year for having 2 babies in milk crates. Donnie Burgess reports.
The cops were called on a hot summer's day last year. Blossom Kirby was riding a bike with a milk crate on the front and back. Inside both milk crates were babies, only wearing diapers and not old enough to walk. It was a 90-degree day and both babies had sunburns and scratches. Kirby was also seen on video riding the bike and almost falling over a few times. She received a 2-year sentence, 1 year suspended, and another to be served after she's done serving time for an auto theft charge. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The Grant County Sheriff's Office is investigating why an inmate collapsed and died Monday night. Deputies at the Grant County Jail say it happened around 10 p.m. and they performed CPR to try and keep the inmate alive. They wound up dying in the hospital later that night. Deputies haven't said who the inmate is, and state police are helping out with the investigation. A man from Indianapolis was arrested and charged Monday after a shooting, say police. IMPD says an argument is what led to that shooting on the north side off North Keystone Avenue. One man was shot. He's expected to recover, and Dwayne Sturdivant is who the cops put in handcuffs. Police believe the 2 men knew each other prior. City leaders in Indianapolis are looking into a new partnership with federal prosecutors to stop violent crime.
When federal charges are filed, pre-trial release options are not available.
NDFOP President Rick Snyder on Wish TV. He says the City County Council will consider a proposal to hire 3 lawyers to specifically work cases involving repeat violent offenders in Marion County. 24 people were shot in Indy last weekend. 1 person died. May's inflation rate is the lowest it's been in more than 2 years, but Dr. Matt Will, an economist with the University of Indianapolis, says you should be concerned about a credit crunch.
And so this credit crunch means that it's harder for you and I to get money. Banks don't want to lend. The Fed is putting rules in place. They're concerned about your risk because if there's a recession, you may not pay back your loan.
He tells WIBC's Tony Katz that the economy is not exactly healthy if lending is being limited. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
We see some patients who come in and they have been in just so much pain for so long that they are just deflated.
But that's about to change because QC Kinetics provides hope for relief using all new regenerative treatments that concentrate your body's own healing properties into aching hips, back, shoulders, and knees. And Dr. Zuckerman, a medical director at QC Kinetics, loves watching the patient transformations.
One of the most amazing things is when I get to see a patient who, after a few months of our treatments, is just a completely different person. They are smiling and happy, and the weight of the world is off their shoulders because we were able to take away their pain.
And that's with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime.
It's just amazing to be able to change people's lives like that. It's very gratifying.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics 317-559-PAIN. That's 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN.
With traffic on the 5s at 4:05. How are the roads, Matt Bear?
Harrison, this just happened. Not good. Southbound 465 at East 56th Street on the ramp to East 56, so it's the off-ramp. It's a crash. Somebody got sideways on the left side of the ramp. The right side of the ramp is also covered. We do have a delay. Looking at the south side, westbound 465 crash at Harding Street. Again, on the off-ramp, the ramp is open partially. Block stop and go back to 31. At eastbound 70 jams at Sam Jones Expressway because of rerouting traffic. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Imagine the possibilities of getting the backyard of your dreams. Expand your living space with an Indy Decorative Concrete patio. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts, big enough to service, small enough to care. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Scattered showers still possible for tonight, mostly cloudy. Low temperature in the mid-50s tomorrow. Mostly cloudy day with some breaks. High temperatures in the upper 70s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. We go to the drivehubler.com hotline and bring on special guest Raven Harrison is a Texas-born political strategist. She is in Florida covering the Trump arraignment. Raven, welcome back to the Hammer and Nigel Show. How are you?
Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
And I was just looking at this poll that said it's like half and half. Nearly half the country supports Trump's federal indictment. The other half does not. I'm just curious, big picture for you, how do you see this indictment going down? Are there certain aspects of the prosecution's case that could be a problem for Donald Trump, or is this a witch hunt like he keeps saying?
Yeah, we got a couple of questions in there. So the first one I will answer is about the poll. So I'm going to say that I have about as much faith in this poll as I do as expired gas station sushi. So I would, as far as, they're saying, half think he should, half think he shouldn't be indicted. I would say that would be pretty par for the course for an ABC poll of their viewers.
Yeah.
People that watch that think that. But as far as how I think this is going to play out, it's going to play out the way that the rest of them have. A lot of us who are strategists look at when these things happen to President Trump, which has been an ongoing thing. We've been pretty busy since he came down the golden escalators.
Yes.
We are looking at this for legal and political ramifications. They have had nothing. $40 million on the Mueller investigation, which found corruption with Biden, Hillary, and Obama, but nothing for Trump. And then impeachment 1, nothing. Impeachment 2, each time he's gotten stronger, he's gotten more popular, and people rally against him. So now they're trying to go after, saying that this is the espionage angle they're looking, because they couldn't get him in the Federal Records Act. So this looks like it does every other witch hunt of they're trying to find a different angle, to put lipstick on that pig. And it doesn't appear to be working as of yet. His momentum is still growing as it has every time they've attacked him, but they will continue to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks.
Raven, is this a win-win for the Democrats here? Because on one hand, they get to make Donald Trump go through this whole process. They get to run his name through the mud, say that he was arrested. But on the other hand, as his poll numbers go up, like you mentioned, the Democrats feel like they can beat Donald Trump in a general election. So is this kind of a win-win for the left here?
I think they will take it that way, but if you look at the effectiveness and the efficacy rate of these constant attacks, they have not yielded the result. They thought that just simply saying he was impeached was going to be enough to ruin, things. And then he has 2, but he was acquitted twice. So you have to put that in. And all indictment means is that he's accused. He's not been convicted. He's been accused. And that seems to be par for the course. What I tell people they should find disturbing is Pelosi saying he should prove he's innocent. That's not how our justice system works. So that to me is very telling about their strategy and that their confidence in Joe Biden, who at the point now is tripping over air, in broad daylight. So they are looking for anything they can to give this man a leg up and an arm up. This feels like a weekend at Bernie's on steroids. So that's what they are doing right now. And it's not working. It hasn't worked. It's not going to work because it's not rooted in fact, and they are perverting the justice system to try to achieve this end. The end does not justify the means.
We're speaking with Raven Harrison, who's a political strategist. What should we expect? You mentioned Joe Biden in there. Should we expect anything from this FBI investigation into the Biden family? This document that says that he's been part of a bribery scheme. The whistleblower, this foreign entity, this foreign national, is saying that he has recorded audio tapes with Hunter Biden and Joe Biden. But with the phony Russian collusion stuff, the FISA warrants to spy on the Trump campaign, we all know it was bogus. Do we have any faith in the FBI that anything will come of this Biden investigation?
Zero, but we don't need it. What I try to remind people about is, there's a reason you don't speak British right now. They had more guns, more money, more resources, more troops. Why aren't you British right now? Because the Patriots were strong, and that's why. And so what it is that just tells us that our government is corrupt, which we already know. All of America has a video of Joe Biden saying that they didn't fire the guy looking into his son. Yep. He was going to hold up their money. We all have seen that. We don't need the FBI to be Captain Obvious here. What we need are the American people to stop accepting this and stop saying, well, it's okay because he's a Democrat. It's not. There cannot be a two-tier justice system. So I tell people who are celebrating Trump being indicted without the facts, without any kind of causable proof, with everything going wrong in our country, substitute your name instead of Trump and see if it sounds just. So instead of saying, impeachment 1, Trump, impeachment 2, put your name in there, or your son's name, or your children's name. Does that still sound like the way that our justice system was laid out to be fair and equally applied?
Not at all.
If not, then we can't support this.
Raven, if a Republican wins in 2024, whether that's Trump, whether that's DeSantis, or whoever else, do they have to absolutely clean house at the FBI? Do they have to fire Merrick Garland on day one?
Yes, they do. Before day one, a lot of us would support, a pre-party. Let's have a pink slip party and a perp walk palooza, because that's what the American people need. Our system, our houses have become filthy and they need to be cleaned again. And that is on both sides of the aisle. Look what's happening here. I mean, Trump is being arraigned in a Republican-led state. In Texas, a Republican-led House removed the Attorney General without him having witnesses, counsel, due process. This should tell people this is proof of the uniparty and that it transcends just a particular R or a D. That's where regular people have to get involved. We have to stop electing these people. We have to stop allowing them to come back to us during election time and say, hey, I know that, we've been in office for decades and before the internet, but it's all Trump's fault. These people created these problems, and now they're telling us, don't worry, this time we're really going to fix them. And American people are like, oh, okay, we can't do that anymore. Now we have to say this has to stop. Trump will weather this because it's legally flimsy. I mean, you're trying to get a president who had the legal authority to declassify documents. So what the reigning theory is that was the Mar-a-Lago raid to steal back the evidence of their crimes that was outlined in the Mueller investigation and in Crossfire Hurricane. Is that why he's being indicted?
We're speaking with Raven Harrison. She's a political strategist. Talk to me, like earlier this afternoon, I'm watching the arraignment as Trump turned himself into the courtroom in Miami. Lots of Trump supporters and Trump flags outside this courtroom. Earlier, Hammer mentioned that this indictment, it might be a win-win for the Democrats. But talk to me as a strategist, what is his inner circle telling him about this indictment and how it actually might benefit him in the long run when running for the Republican nomination and in the general?
Well, he has the truth and he has precedent on his side. So here's what it is we have a presumption of innocence. The vodka queen is crazy. We don't prove we're innocent in this country. We are innocent until proven guilty. So what his team is telling him is the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. Every time they have attacked him, not every other time, every time they have attacked him, he's gotten stronger. He raised more money. The last time he was indicted in New York, he raised $9 million in a span of like 48 hours. So if we're going on the past predictors, he's going to beat this too, as he has every single thing. And he will be prepared for the next thing, because this won't be it. They have got to find a way to get him out of running in order to allow Joe Biden to pretend to be president another 4 years. That's what they have to do. That is the goal. That is all they care about. Because if a Republican takes the House, and we have the House and the executive branch, then we can expect some house cleaning, and only the true rats right now who are sinking the ships are afraid of that. So
Raven, are you still doing the podcast, Raven?
I am. Still doing the podcast. We're still keeping it real.
Raven's Radar, and you can also check out Raven's Mantle, Fighting the Betrayal of America. Raven, we love having you on, and next time we have you back, we'll make some time to talk a little Purdue, because I know you're a Boiler fan.
Yes, and I went there for a year, so yes, would love to, and glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
On the east side, Lawrence, the ramp is closed now. Southbound 465 to East 56 Shadeland. That collector ramp had to shut down because of a crash. On the south side, another crash, another ramp. It is westbound 465 to Harding. The ramp is open, at least that one is. It is partially blocked here at the moment. Then we have a crash. Fishers, northbound 69 at 116th Street. The right lane is blocked. Traffic sponsored by Comcast Business. Is it possible to protect your small business from big cyber threats? It is, with the help of advanced security from Comcast Business. Restrictions apply. Requires Comcast Business Internet, leased router, and security edge. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
68 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Is this anything? Next.
There has never been a better time to get that engagement ring or fine diamond jewelry or any piece of jewelry for any celebration. Right now at Diamonds Direct, it's the most exciting offer ever. I'm talking about you can get instant savings of up to $5,000 off any purchase, or you can enjoy special financing for up to 5 whole years. Either way, you save big.
You know what's included in this deal? Everything. That's right. Everything is included in this deal with Diamonds Direct. Earrings, pendants, bracelets, bands, you name it, it's a part of it. Rare, precious diamonds in all shapes, all sizes. Get the amazing value price Diamonds Direct is known for, and then decide if you want a huge cash rebate on the spot, or if you'd rather take advantage of long-term easy payments. It's your call now through June 30th. DiamondsDirect.com, or stop by Keystone at the Crossing. Diamonds Direct. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
It's a 300-degree sauna in this house right now. We have to get this AC fixed before we all melt.
A bit dramatic, don't you think?
Honey, we're melting in here and can't take it much longer.
Literally melting.
Okay, I know who to call.
At Mr. Quick, we keep your AC system running smoothly all summer. Call Mr. Quick today and get $54 off any AC repair. And now you can easily schedule online at callmrquick.com.
Call Mr. Quick for on time.
Are you tired of cleaning it up after every rain? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair, a real, local, Indiana family-owned company. Even a small amount of water in your basement can lead to a huge amount of problems. Don't let your wet basement problem get worse. Call Indy's most trusted basement waterproofer, Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair at 317-407-1868 or swaincollc.com. And ask about our easy, no-interest, no-payment financing.
Golfers, you're invited to take the short trip to experience Antler Point Golf Course in Rushville. Antler Point just underwent renovations in the last year and is ready for you to experience this year. Weekday specials, senior specials, and affordable weekends. 18 or 9 holes. Antler Point is less than an hour from Indy. You want to play more golf in 2023? Make the short trip and give Antler Point Golf Course in Rushville a swing. You'll be glad you came. AntlerPointGolf.com. That's point with an E.
A cancer diagnosis can come as a sudden, unexpected shock. At Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center, you'll talk to an expert within 48 hours, so you can start finding the answers you need.
So me being able to see Dr. Moore so quickly, I think that helped give my mind a little bit more peace.
Your circle of support just got stronger. Learn more at ecommunity.com/cancer.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa."
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist and ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Do you wonder what your home is worth in an ever-changing housing market?
Did you know that your home's value changes constantly due to mortgage rate changes, seasonality, and what other homes near you have recently sold for?
I'm Greg Cooper.
And I'm Lisa Phillips.
And we want to be your real estate resource not only when you move, but even when you aren't.
Our passion is to serve Central Indiana homeowners with the best information and advocacy available.
Try us out. Find out what your home is worth online right now at HoosierHomeValues2023.com.
That's HoosierHomeValues2023.com.
Is your Generac home standby generator overdue for annual maintenance or an oil change? Schedule an inspection with a certified tech at Generator Supercenter to ensure your Generac generator is ready when you need it most. GeneratorSupercenter.com.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Hammer, how do we play Is This Anything?
I will run a couple different stories by you. You will break down all of the information that's been presented and then give us a final verdict. Is the story anything or not?
Sweet.
Is this anything? An Arkansas woman looking to raise some money to repair her busted-up roof posted some tongue-in-cheek strip show pictures of herself on top of her roof.
What was she doing? Trying to raise money?
I posted this on Twitter, and you can see it right now, at Hammer and Nigel. She thought this would be a way to raise money.
Yeah.
Here she is talking about it.
So a couple of months ago, I noticed my roof was leaking, and I went and got an estimate to get it repaired. Turns out it was in pretty bad shape, and the whole thing needs to be replaced. So the estimate was about $10,000. I figured might as well laugh rather than cry. I climbed up on my roof, did a little photo shoot, just took a few selfies, and posted it in a Facebook group. To my surprise, I actually went viral.
Now, I don't think this is anything because she didn't really disclose whether or not she actually raised the 10 grand she needed before quitting. She quit. She stopped doing the photos. This is just not me. I can't do this anymore. Is that where we are in society, by the way? I need 10 grand, so I'm going to take off my clothes and get on the roof and go to OnlyFans.
Supply and demand, my friend. Supply and demand.
I mean, yeah, go to you judge for yourself, Twitter, or at Hammer and Nigel on Twitter. I think it's a clever idea. I think, again, this is where we're at in society with social media, and you never know what's going to catch on. Yeah, why not take a flyer and show your hooters on top of your busted up roof?
See, for me, it wouldn't even be about objectifying myself. I just don't want to get on the damn roof every day.
That's a good point.
It takes a lot of time and effort, and I got to get the ladder out.
Does she not have homeowner's insurance? Usually, I
don't
just
know.
had my neighbor just had his roof replaced, and they came knocking on my door wanting to do a estimate, and they say, well, his roof is free. I'm like, nah, we just had it looked at a couple of months ago.
Yeah, there's nothing I hate more than having to get up on the roof. Haven't been up there very
scary.
often, but
Well,
man,
hell, Tony Katz won't even get up on a ladder.
take the roof out of the equation. He's not even getting on the ladder.
The last time I had to get on my roof. God. It was pouring down rain. We had just gotten home from a road trip, like maybe from Great Wolf Lodge. The kids were cranky, and we were locked out of the house. And the garage door, either the electricity was off or I can't remember, but we couldn't get the garage door. No, we got the garage door open, but the door to go into our house was locked.
Okay.
Didn't have a key for that. So I had to grab a ladder and go back around the side of the house, put it up on the deck, climb up, and take a flyer that we had actually unlocked our window to our bedroom or to our bathroom. And because we keep everything locked tight in that house,
right?
But as a precaution or just to check, I wandered up there. I lost my balance a few times.
Were you like Clark
Lindsay
Griswold?
was like, "Wait, honey, be careful." And then luckily we were able to get in through that window that we usually keep locked. It was unlocked for some reason. So that's the last time I've been on the roof of my house.
In your very upscale, Richie rich neighborhood of Zionsville, I could see you being the Clark Griswold, hanging onto the gutters, hanging down.
I single-handedly brought down the property value for everybody's house. They should be thanking me actually for their property taxes. They're so low.
Is this anything? A Philadelphia man was interviewed about the highway that collapsed this past weekend, and the clip's gone viral because of his accent, which is, quote, very Philly.
Dude, so I was passed out and I woke up to nothing but text messages, phone calls. I had no idea what was going on. And I got dressed, I came out, I looked down, and I smell like a smoky smell. And I'm like, damn, dude, so it's crazy. Everybody's like, yo, where's this at? Nobody had a direct location. So I was like, look out my window, I see a bunch of cops. I'm like, bro, that's right by my apartment.
So when did you figure out and realize that the freeway collapsed?
Oh, dude, I was passed out when that happened.
I was passed out when it happened. There's a distinction here. Yes, this is something, by the way. I love this guy. He wasn't asleep when it happened.
No.
He was passed out when it happened. On a Sunday afternoon, no less.
Well, somebody did a little day drinking. Weather was okay. I'm not mad at the guy. I wouldn't have noticed the accent, though. There's a couple words that you could tell it sneaks in, but it's not an accent that jumps out to me. Boston is an accent. I had to take a wicked leak and the damn thing collapsed. I could get that, but I didn't pick up an accent.
It's not one of my favorite viral clips of a witness or somebody like the man on the street type interview. The best one was when the lady asked the dude what he'd do if he won the lottery. Bunch of hookers and blow. Oh, that's not very good. Back to the studio.
There was a fire in Philadelphia a number of years ago, and it happened on a Sunday, and it's a day where the Eagles played, and their receiver, Nelson Aguilar, dropped a couple passes. So this Good Samaritan was catching kids being thrown out of a fire.
Yeah.
They interviewed him on the news, and he said, yeah, I was catching them, unlike Aguilar. I still remember that. Aguilar taking shots from the local hero in the fire. Is this anything? A 16-year-old known as Mythical Rocket has broken the record for fastest typing in the world, 300 words per minute. Here he is talking about the record.
I am excited to announce that I finally hit 300 words per minute on 15 seconds. I've been trying for this for ages. I hope you enjoy it.
Oh, dear Lord.
Is that anything?
No.
Whoa, shoot!
Okay, whatever. I mean, unless you can use that skill to pick up chicks, then no, that's nothing.
What if you can pick up chicks with that, though? Is that something that would separate you from, any other guy in the bar?
A guy that's, starts varsity basketball. He has a scholarship to a Big Ten school, and the chick goes for the dude that can type the fastest.
Maybe. I don't know. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
That unmistakable smell is finally in the air again. Spring seems to have sprung. Whether you're in the last-minute scramble to get the garden ready for the summer or planning your adventures, you can't forget about your feet. Hi, this is Phoebe with the Good Feet store, and the best way to get ready for spring, summer, and all the adventures your feet will be taking you on this year is to give them the support they need. If you're suffering from foot, knee, hip, or back pain, the Good Feet store can help. Each foot has 33 joints and 26 bones, so a lot can go wrong, but Good Feet's patented arch supports can help. We place the feet in their ideal position, which is designed to reduce pressure from painful areas and help your whole body to stand taller and straighter. So, what are you waiting for? Don't let pain stand in the way of your plans this spring. Hop on over to the Good Feet store for your free personalized fitting and test walk and frolic through the flowers pain-free. What do you have to lose? Your pain. That's what. Try us out and see for yourself before you buy at the Good Feet store.
We're in your neighborhood. Visit goodfeet.com to find the location nearest to you.
June is Men's Health Month, and guys, you know, a lot of people are talking about testosterone, but you got to do your homework and be sure to go somewhere that you could trust. We recommend the Low T Center. Low T Center exclusively specializes in men's wellness. They check all your levels, and I'm not just talking about testosterone here. They determine the cause of any symptoms you're having, whether you're a candidate for low T or maybe something else like thyroid or low thyroid or sleep apnea. And typically, their annual health assessment is completely covered by health insurance.
Guys, make your health a priority and schedule that annual health assessment at the Low T Center. It's covered by your health insurance, or worst case scenario, it's less than $100 cash pay. And they check everything from your thyroid, liver, kidney functions, you name it, they check it. LowTCenter.com. Book that appointment right now. LowTCenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Pleading guilty and getting out of town. 68 degrees with some rain in downtown Indianapolis. That's likely not the last of the rain you'll see today. Tonight's low dropping just below 60. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:31. Former President Donald Trump pled guilty to 37 counts related to his handling of classified documents today. Fox's Evan Brown reports.
The former president was very quiet and stoic. He did whisper to his attorneys, but did not appear to say much else out loud inside the courtroom. The former president is expected to be released today, and he is expected to fly to his summer home in New Jersey, where he has scheduled a speech for this evening. But with these proceedings, the former president of the United States is now under arrest for federal felonies.
The crowd outside the Miami courthouse where Trump was has also left. Miami police say they did not make any arrests during a rally in support of Trump outside the courthouse. Some of those supporters wound up following the former president to a cafe where they sang him happy birthday. Trump turns 77 tomorrow. Beating and leaving a 19-year-old in an abandoned barn is what 3 people were charged for in Bartholomew County Tuesday. Deputies say the victim told them he was picked up by a friend. They were supposed to go out to eat, but instead she drove them to an abandoned barn. Emily Franklin was the driver, and several people wearing masks attacked the 19-year-old and left him behind. Charles Breedlove and Ashton Fields joined Franklin in being charged. They're all 18. 3 teenagers were arrested in Indy on charges of robbery and auto theft. IMPD says they stole someone's car Monday. They were caught on West 16th Street on Indy's northeast side Monday morning. When the cops found them, weed was found in that car. One of the teenagers also had a gun and a prior criminal charge on their record. The revolving door of violent criminals is a big reason some say violence has gotten worse in Indianapolis. Kurt Darling reports on a possible solution.
Fresh off a weekend where 24 people were shot throughout Indy, city leaders are considering a new partnership with federal prosecutors.
When federal charges are filed, pre-trial release options are not available.
Indy FOP President Rick Snyder, he says that the City County Council will be considering a proposal soon to hire 3 new lawyers who will be paid by the city but will work in the U.S. Attorney's Office with the sole purpose of federally prosecuting repeat violent offenders in Marion County. Kurt Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And your stock report, the Dow finished up 145 to 34,212. The Nasdaq up by 111 to 13,573. The S&P 500 also up today by 30 points to 4,369. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:34.
Premier Deck Coating, the ultimate deck protection. Who are they? Well, they're a sister company of Rhino Shield, and Premier Deck Coating is the product you need if you're tired of applying the same old stain and paint every couple of years to your deck. It's Terry, Stacy, and David and I have a deck that's probably 25 years old. The countless hours and the money that we spend on maintaining that deck never ends. And then we heard about Premier Deck Coating, family owned, based right here in Indy, and they are going to completely transform our deck with their special formulated product, which repels moisture, scratch resistant in virtually any color that we want, and backed by a 10-year guarantee. No more spending time staining or painting every year. Premier Deck Coating will keep our deck looking great for years to come. Premier Deck Coating can also do fences and pergolas too. For a free quote, call 317-696-4071 or visit premierdeckcoating.com.
With traffic at 4:35, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Donnie, this just happened. Coming out of downtown, it's westbound as 70 Link. You're going to the airport. Crash closure. It's going to be the ramp to Harding Street that is completely shut down. The main part of 70 is fine. Again, the westbound 70 lanes to Harding Street are closed right now. That ramp is closed. Eastbound 72 downtown, stop to stop and go from Sam Jones Expressway into Belmont because of rerouting traffic. Traffic sponsored by Macy's Backstage. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? Great Father's Day gifts for $20 and under, like classic polos, grill accessories, grooming sets, and more. Find the latest trends and new arrivals at a Macy's Backstage store near you. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Scattered showers still possible for tonight, mostly cloudy. Low temperature in the mid-50s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy day with some breaks, high temperatures in the upper 70s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on The Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
So there's this government watchdog agency that says a White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, has violated the Hatch Act repeatedly when she refers to mega or MAGA Republicans, extreme MAGA Republicans. The Hatch Act, Hammer, I think it was passed in the 30s, basically says it prohibits government employees from engaging in overt political statements in their official capacities, which she does all the time.
The statement from the head of the agency that is behind the Hatch Act, watchdog acts, if you want to call it that, quote, because Miss Jean-Pierre made the statements while acting in her official capacity, she violated Hatch Act prohibition against official authority figures.
It's so funny because she'll often cite the Hatch Act, again, which bars government employees from political campaigning, as a reason not to answer questions from reporters. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't answer that. The Hatch Act. Oh, sorry, no, you know what? The Hatch Act, I technically can't. And now, of course, she's accused of violating the same thing that she always uses to get out of answering questions.
Right. She can't help herself because she's bad at her job.
She used the phrase mega MAGA Republicans, which many Democrats will tell you is a pejorative. It's an insult.
Especially around the midterm elections.
Yes.
When Joe Biden had that really creepy red speech. I think it was in Philadelphia. A lot of talk about Philadelphia today. But that red background, they called it Dark Brandon. Boy, she couldn't stop saying MAGA Republicans, Ultra MAGA, Mega MAGA, Magnum PI MAGA. Like she couldn't stop because, again, she's bad at her job. She can't answer anything. She could go up there with a binder 3 times as big as Kayleigh McEnany and still not have any answers. Again, I disagreed with Jen Psaki. I don't like her politics. I think her talk show on MSNBC is laughably bad, but she was good at that job. Her job was to make the turd look polished, and she did that. She made Joe Biden look as competent as she could possibly be, and you might not like her answers, but she had answers. Karine Jean-Pierre does not do that. She gives you nothing, and then when she does speak up, it's either wrong or she violates the Hatch Act.
Which, again, she uses not to answer questions from the press.
Right.
It's typically those people that are wagging their finger at you or using the same excuses, and then they turn around and do the same thing.
So it seems like England and Norway are the latest to ban puberty blockers for children now. The publicly funded health service in England has decided it will not routinely offer puberty-blocking drugs to children at gender identity clinics, saying they need more evidence. The National Health Service stated, quote, outside of research setting, puberty-suppressing hormones should not be routinely commissioned for children and adolescents.
It certainly shouldn't be publicly funded, and it shouldn't be done at all for kids under 18. You think a kid who is already confused and lonely and desperate, and the only way to fix this is to chop off appendages? In California, hell, they're going the opposite way. If you don't affirm that, if you don't affirm your child's request to be, called a different pronoun or lean into the gender transition and sex change operations, they can be taken care of you if certain laws are passed in California. Glad to see that England is probably, at the very least, not using public funds.
Right.
For puberty blockers and hormone therapy and sex change operations for kids under 18.
The only way minors can get these treatments in England is if it's, quote, an exceptional circumstance for medical reasons. And then in Norway, which is hardly the model of extreme right-wing Christian fundamentalism, they joined a growing number of European countries earlier this year to restrict, quote, gender-affirming care for minors, which is just fancy talk for chopping off cranks. The Norwegian Healthcare Investigation Board ruled that guidance encouraging puberty blockers and sex change procedures for gender-confused kids lacked medical evidence.
Oh, again, in California, the complete opposite. Your kid could be taken away from you if they pass that bill, and you don't lean into their gender affirming care.
It does feel like, though, a lot of other countries are starting to wake up and go, wait a minute, what?
Well, not only that, plenty of states around this country have done the same thing, including Indiana.
And Jim Banks, who's the representative from Indiana, he is running for Senate as well. He had a little back and forth with the HHS Secretary, Xavier Becerra. Take a listen to this.
Then you believe that an 18-year-old shouldn't be allowed to own a hunting rifle. Today you believe that a 9, 10, or 11-year-old should be able to change their sex and have an irreversible surgery to do that. Just help us explain the logic.
Yeah, Congressman, I would appreciate you if you let me characterize what I believe, and we can have a good conversation rather than you characterize what I believe. And what I would say to you is, with regard to gun violence, I think it is important that we take actions to protect our communities and our neighborhoods. With regard to
I don't think you want to explain it because you realize how crazy it is.
That was earlier today with Jim Banks and Xavier Becerra.
Wow.
So Becerra's argument is, you need to be way older to have a firearm, but man, just learn to walk. Here, take these scissors, cut off your crank. Paraphrasing, of course.
Load you up with all the puberty blockers you can handle, but don't you dare buy a gun. Don't you dare buy a long rifle. We can't.
When you say these things out loud, sometimes you understand how ridiculous some of these people are. A new poll claims that the majority of Americans oppose transgender athletes competing in sports.
You don't say.
This is a new Gallup report. 69% say that transgender athletes should only be allowed to compete on sports teams that correspond with the sex they were assigned at birth.
It's common sense.
That number's actually gone up over the last year. It was 62% in 2021, and now this report that's for the year 2022, it's up to 69%. So with all of this attention, And all the stories about Leah Thomas and Riley Gaines and it being forefront in the media every 5 minutes, it seems like, more and more people say, you know what? It's not fair for a biological man to compete against a woman. Maybe they should have their own class, or maybe they should compete against the sex they were assigned at birth.
And there is a reason why you don't see biological women who transition into men trying to get into men's sports. Why is that, I wonder?
There are major differences between men and women.
Biologically.
And trust me, if the NFL thought that somebody that made the transition could block, they would hire that person in a minute. If the NBA thought somebody that's made the transition could play, I promise they'd be on the court. Because it's all about winning, it's all about sport. But that hasn't happened. And it's not going to happen anytime soon. So it's interesting that that number is actually up year over year. 69% say that transgender athletes should only be allowed to compete on sports teams that correspond with the sex they were born with or even their own category. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Rob, I'm going to throw a number out at you.
Let's do it.
12.4%.
Ooh, sounds juicy. What is it?
Okay, well, between you and your employer, you've contributed as much as 12.4% of every paycheck to Social Security.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, well, if you add it up over 40 years, it could make your IRA and 401k contributions look like chump change. And that's why you want to be 100% certain you don't leave one thin dime on the table.
Hey, it's Kendall and Casey. Learn how you could wring every nickel out of your benefits with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy. If you've saved more than $200,000 and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis by calling 317-932-9912.
This free analysis pinpoints exactly how to get the most out of your benefits. Call Bill Demery today. That number, 317-932-9912. 317-932-9912.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer in Johnson County, Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling. Now, when you hear heating and cooling companies advertising a free furnace or air conditioner, do you believe them? You're best to follow your gut on those sketchy claims. If you want an honest quote with honest pricing, call the team at Marshall Mechanical. Just go to callthemarshallnow.com. Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling is your American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer in Johnson County.
Hey, it's JMV. My friend Lance and his crew at LD Smith Plumbing have gotten me out of a jam more than once when I needed a quick, reliable plumbing repair for those pesky clogged drains. I count on LD Smith to provide the best solution to fix my clogged drain. Gurgling noises in your shower, drain, or backups in your sink or toilet. Give LD Smith a call for a free drain inspection. They'll find the clog and offer the best solution to fix it with no obligation to use their services. 317-927-7186, LDSmithPlumbing.com today.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Don't let life get in the way of what's most important. Visit shelterinsurance.com to learn more. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Indiana Foundation Service. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at indianafoundation.com.
Governor Holcomb, I love how high school sports teach the importance of the journey.
I couldn't agree more, Commissioner Neidig. Before any measure of success is achieved, like making a winning play or earning a state championship, student athletes go on an essential journey that humbles and teaches them every step of the way.
The lessons learned along the journey of high school sports are about so much more than just the game. Student athletes learn how to persevere through adversity, never give up, and to get better every day.
This second classroom teaches the skills, behaviors, and attitudes student athletes need to be successful on the playing field and in life.
There's no better training ground for today's teens on their way to becoming tomorrow's leaders. Support the vital work of education-based athletics by buying a ticket to your high school's athletic events.
This is keeping education in front of athletics. This is the journey of high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Summer, birds, bees, and yep, air conditioners. So cool down, save big. Call 888-RHINO-41. Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino. Rhino Shield.
Imagine the possibilities of getting the backyard of your dreams. Expand your living space with an Indie Decorative Concrete patio. Indie Decorative Concrete, the patio experts. Big enough to service, small enough to care.
There's a lot of sexy content on the internet. And there's WIBC, full of faces meant for radio. Hammer and Nigel, Kendall and Casey. Okay, Casey could be on TV. Now streaming every day on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/WIBC.
Coming up a little bit after 5 o'clock, everything you need to know about what's going on with Donald Trump. And there are rumors circulating about a certain AI guest that may be joining us. So that is coming up after 5 o'clock. But right now, Matt Baer's going to give us a little look at the roads.
All right, Hammer eastbound at 70 is just buried right now. We're from Sam Jones Expressway, Meridian, Illinois. Stop to stop and go traffic all the way through. Southbound 65 in Pike Township. Stop and go 86th Street down to 71st. Crash clear northbound 69 to 11637. And crash clear westbound 70 to Harding. Traffic sponsored by Indie Decorative Concrete. Imagine the possibilities of getting the backyard of your dreams. Expand your living space with an Indie Decorative Concrete patio. Indie Decorative Concrete, the patio experts, big enough to service, small enough to care. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
67 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
Do you suppose we'll meet any wild animals?
Hey, baby, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs. Have some fun.
The dingo ate your baby.
And now Hammer and Nigel proudly presents.
Damn, nature, you scary.
Lions.
And tigers. And bears.
Oh, my.
Hammer, if I told you a random jogger was attacked by an animal on a trail in Colorado, what would you guess the animal was?
Maybe like an elk or something?
I would say, Allison, what do you think? Like you're jogging on a trail up in Colorado.
Colorado, I'd say a bear.
Yeah, a bear.
A mountain lion, maybe?
Nope. Cows.
Cows?
A herd of cows attacked a random jogger on a trail in Colorado. Here is the 911 call of a witness to the attack. Her name's Vivian. Here she is talking about it as well. Plus the manager of the Boulder County Parks talking about why the attack happened.
Hi, I am on a trail right next to McCaslin. I just saw a runner get attacked by a herd of cows, and they're not moving, and the cows are surrounding them.
She screamed and was just down on the ground while they were just trampling her on a very short span of time. She stopped moving, which at the time I was like, oh my gosh, did I just watch? Did I just watch her die? Which thankfully wasn't the case.
When trail visitors come out and they're acting aggressively, or if they're approaching the cow in a fast manner, those cows, again, perceive that as a threat, and they do what they do to protect their young.
I didn't think cows, I've never heard of a cow attacking anybody. I thought they were usually docile, tame creatures. I guess unless, like you said at the end, there. Get ready to play that piece of audio again, Alice, because I kind of laughed when I heard the cow at the beginning. Did you hear that at the 911 call? Play that again.
I am on a trail right next to
He was setting the tone. Setting the tone.
Yeah, so the thing about the attack was, I guess, they had young calves with them. And maybe they were trying to protect them and thought the jogger was a threat. So, yes, indeed, damn nature, you scary.
Damn, nature, you scary.
An Ohio neighborhood is facing a huge problem ever since multiple groundhogs have taken over.
Oh, no, they've taken over.
Critters are a bit of a nuisance and causing property damage. Plus, there are rules on how they need to be legally removed from the area. Here are some neighbors talking about the problem.
Any little hole, like see up under that stair, they'll crawl up under there and have more babies and migrate. You got one, now you got 8. It's disgusting. They come around here digging up holes, you know what I mean? Like, ew.
But the groundhog problem is just insane. It costs like $150 just to set his trap up. And then for every one he caught, it was $60.
Where's Carl Spackler when you need it?
He'll blow those sumbitches up, baby. Let's go.
So I'm wondering if Ohio, if they're allowed to kill these things, or they just have to trap them and let them go.
Well, it said there are specific rules about how they need to be legally removed. To me, that's fancy talk for you can't just kill them.
What a bunch of crap.
Real quick, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for Rush, Shelby, and Decatur counties until 5:36.
Bring on the rain, baby.
That's a severe thunderstorm warning, Rush, Shelby, and Decatur counties until 5:36. Does Mother Nature count for damn nature?
Sure.
You scary?
Damn nature, you scary.
Top stories and perhaps an AI appearance.
Oh?
That's coming up next.
So we are right in the middle of prime home selling season, and you got to think with active buyers and stabilizing mortgage rates, now is a great time to get your home sold for maximum dollars. Make the smart choice. Hire the agent I'd recommend. His name is Mark Dietl. Tom and Carol heard about Mark Dietl on their show. Here's what they had to say. We needed to sell my parents' house quickly and move them to a place that could care for them better. We heard about Mark Dietl on the radio. We hired him, and he is exactly as advertised. Our home was under contract in days. A challenging time was made easier thanks to Mark Dietl.
Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. That is an amazing promise. Pick your move date. There's no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Contact Mark Dietl today, 317-755-4232, or go to markdietl.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietl.com.
911, what's your emergency?
Por favor, necesito ayuda. Está borracho y creo que me va a pegar otra vez.
I will get someone to speak with you. Please stay on the line.
Hola, tengo su ubicación. Ayuda está en camino.
Getting past a language barrier is critical when first responders help Hoosiers. That's why the State 911 Board provides special tools for non-English speaking citizens to communicate with emergency services.
Si estás en peligro, aunque no hables inglés, podrás recibir ayuda en una emergencia rápidamente.
All Indiana 911 centers began offering translation services in over 240 languages in 2019. Now, people can send text messages for help in their native language to 911 and receive a translated text back from the dispatcher. It's of great help to the deaf and speech impaired and to those in select dangerous situations.
Cuando llame o envíe un texto al 911, un servicio de traducción se asegurará que entiendan lo que está diciendo.
For more information, visit in911.net.
Gracias.
911. Before you text, voice is best.
There's never been a better time to get that engagement ring or fine diamond jewelry. Right now at Diamonds Direct, our most exciting offer ever. You can get instant savings up to $5,000 off any purchase or enjoy special financing for up to 5 whole years. Either way, you save big. You can't miss this limited time offer. Design your perfect ring and get our most gorgeous and most flexible financing options. Now through June 30th at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get details, store hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com. On approved credit.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
One great benefit that comes with getting old is that you've seen it all. For nearly 200 years, Old National Bank has been there, an established financial partner, serving the community right in the community. Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Get old.
Now through month end, get summer road trip ready at Hubler, where every new car includes their 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Visit drivehubler.com.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Now through Monday, it's our Dare to Compare sale. We guarantee none of our competitors will beat us on any price on items that are apples to apples. That's Berlin Gardens, Lazy Boy, Pollywood, Tempur-Pedic, Smith Brothers of Bern, anything in our store. If you do, we'll beat the price and still deliver it for free. Now through Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
The National Weather Service in Indianapolis has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for East Central Shelby County, Southern Rush County, Northeastern Decatur County until 5:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 4:51 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located 9 miles east of Shelbyville, moving east at 45 miles per hour. Expected hazards include 60 miles per hour wind gusts. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected. Expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. This severe thunderstorm will be near Moscow around 4:55 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Milroy around 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Sandusky around 5:05 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Clarksburg and New Salem around 5:10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Other locations in the path of this severe thunderstorm include Lake Santee. This includes Interstate 74 between mile markers 118 and 126. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Torrential rainfall is occurring with this storm and may lead to flash flooding. Do not drive your vehicle through flooded roadways. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 5:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the following counties in Indiana: Decatur, Rush, and Shelby.
Your local news coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
The defamation case must be dismissed. Some prices might rise after the truck fire and highway collapse on I-95 in Philadelphia.
It's one of many, many factors that can affect the cost of shipping. But here on the East Coast, there's no question that the effect will be upward pressure until it can be completely resolved.
Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg visiting the site today and repeating a pledge of federal help to expedite rebuilding. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
How much time she gets in a prison cell. Rainy 67 degrees downtown. Severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Rush, Decatur, and Shelby counties lasting until 5:30. Rain is expected to keep falling throughout the evening to a low of 59 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. You may remember an Indianapolis woman arrested last year for having two babies in milk crates. Donnie Burgess reports.
The cops were called on a hot summer's day last year. Blossom Kirby was riding a bike with a milk crate on the front and back. Inside both milk crates were babies, only wearing diapers and not old enough to walk. It was a 90-degree day and both babies had sunburns and scratches. Kirby was also seen on video riding the bike and almost falling over a few times. She received a 2-year sentence, 1 year suspended, and another to be served after she's done serving time for an auto theft charge. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Missing 2-year-old Nair and his non-custodial mother, Najee Jackson, were found this afternoon, says IMPD. They'd been missing since June 11th and were found safe. Police are still investigating exactly what happened. 3 teenagers were arrested on charges of robbery and auto theft. IMPD says they stole someone's car Monday and were caught on West 16th Street on the northeast side. When the cops found him, weed was found in the car, and one of the teenagers also had a gun and a prior criminal charge on their record. City leaders in Indianapolis are looking into a new partnership with federal prosecutors to stop violent crime.
When federal charges are filed,
pretrial release options are not available.
NDFOP President Rick Snyder on Wish TV. He says the City County Council will consider a proposal to hire 3 lawyers specifically to work cases involving repeat violent offenders in Marion County. 24 people were shot in Indy last weekend. Fresh off their investment announcement in Fort Wayne, General Motors has also given final approval to build a new EV battery plant in New Carlisle. Kurt Darling reports.
St. Joseph County commissioners have already given their blessing for the plant to be built. Governor Holcomb says that it'll bring roughly 1,700 jobs to northern Indiana, as well as around $3 million in annual economic impact to the area. The plant is a partnership between GM and Samsung to make batteries for electric vehicles. It's been a long time coming after a previous partnership with LG fell through the cracks. Kirk Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Traffic and weather's next. Your time is 5:04.
Michaelis presents Password. The word is basement.
Okay. Wet.
Rain.
Leaky.
Faucet.
Stinky.
Socks.
Moldy.
Underwear.
What? It's basement.
Oh.
Really? Moldy underwear?
Well, sometimes.
Ew. I did not need to know that.
Basement waterproofing and French drains. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Make it Michaelis.
Come on, take your basement back. 844-FIX-INDY.
The traffic on the 5s at 5:05. What's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison, I'm looking at the west side, and you got it. Eastbound 70 is stopped from Sam Jones Expressway to Meridian, Illinois, because of rerouting traffic around the south side closure. Inbound 65, a parking lot from MLK down to the north split and then to the south split. That delay continues on to Raymond Street. Inbound 70, stop and go from Rural Street to the north split. At eastbound 465 on the northeast side, stop to stop and go from Westfield Boulevard over to Allisonville Road. It's a crash at Central Avenue near Fall Creek. Watch out for that. Traffic sponsored by Macy's Backstage. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? Great Father's Day gifts for $20 and under, like classic pools, classic polos, grill accessories, grooming sets, and more. Find the latest trends and new arrivals at a Macy's Backstage store near you. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Scattered showers still possible for tonight, mostly cloudy. Low temperature in the mid-50s tomorrow. Mostly cloudy day with some breaks. High temperatures in the upper 70s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on The Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
Severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 5:36. Rush, Shelby, and Decatur counties. If you are down that neck of the woods, so to speak, take a picture. Let us know what's going on. If you're around Interstate 74 and you've got action, you're seeing some action, big rain, crazy wind, whatever the case may be, you can always send us a message here at the Hammer and Nigel Show. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just be safe at Hammer and Nigel.
You know, where we get a lot of action and where sometimes you will probably more than likely get a response is email, as odd as that seems. I don't know why. It's, what is it, Hammer and Nigel at WIBC.com?
I think so. I'm not even sure what our email address is, but we share one, and I think it's on the website. So if you go to the contact section of WIBC.com, I believe that's the email address. But we also take your tweets and your Facebook posts and all that stuff.
Okay, so Donald Trump down in Miami. Actually, he just left Miami on the Trump airplane. He's going back to Jersey, facing 37 counts related to the handling of classified documents, blah, 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 blah. So there's no mug shot. They don't take DNA as part of this process, Hammer. They don't put him in handcuffs. There was nothing. It wasn't like in Manhattan when he was indicted there on the state level for the campaign finance stuff, where there were cameras in the courtrooms and stuff like that. There was no sound. There was no cameras. I don't even think we saw him walk in or out of that courthouse in Miami.
Right. All you saw was the motorcade go in, and then
lots of Trump supporters.
Motorcade left. He made some sort of pit stop at like a little cafe.
Yeah, after the motorcade left, all the Trump supporters that were out there followed him. And yeah, he stopped at some cafe and bought everybody food.
It was kind of like the scene in Rocky where Rocky goes running, or Forrest Gump even, and all the followers go behind him in the background. Now, a couple of days ago, didn't Trump do something at a Waffle House? He rolled into like a Georgia Waffle House late at night.
Yeah.
Waffles on Trump! Like it paid for everybody's bill at the Waffle House. But today, that's 2 times now, Nige. 2 indictments, but no mugshot, no handcuffs, none of that kind of stuff. If you're a leftist, that's kind of really all you want out of this whole thing, isn't it? Because you're not going to keep him from running for president.
You want him to go to prison. I don't think that will ever happen. There was 0 classified info that he was in possession of that was leaked to anyone. Nobody was going to steal these documents. He wasn't going to sell them to anyone. Look, we talked about this. If he's guilty of being reckless, if he was telling people that he had the documents and showing them to people and he shouldn't have seen them, or that these documents that I have actually didn't get declassified, that's a problem, but it does not warrant Joe Biden going to the Department of Justice, looking Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, and saying, go after this guy. This is a political opponent taking out his, it's Joe Biden taking out his political opponent before the election.
I can't believe he had classified documents in the bathroom next to the toilet at Mar-a-Lago.
You had him next to your Corvette in the garage.
Right.
Hillary Clinton had classified documents that were leaked to foreign adversaries. And everybody, again, kind of just shrugged their shoulders. Comey was like, oh, she didn't mean to. She had no intent. But yet they're using the Espionage Act as a way to get to Trump here.
And the folks on the left keep saying, well, that's whataboutism. That's whataboutism. You're damn right it is, because when you're dealing with law and order, when you're dealing with the justice system, you have to have a fair game. That's kind of what this whole country is based on. You're going to get a fair crack in the justice system, and that's not what's happening right now.
That's what he needs to show. That's what his lawyers need to show, is that this prosecution is politically motivated.
Here is Ted Cruz talking about the indictment and today's arraignment.
At the end of the day, the biggest problem the Department of Justice has is the screaming hypocrisy. This breathlessly says, my God, he had a classified document, off with his head. And it doesn't say a word about why they have no concerns at all about Joe Biden, about all of the documents he had, not in one place, not in 2 places, in multiple places, left with no security, left stacked in the garage, unlocked garage. This is so obviously a double standard. This is a double standard driven by a Department of Justice that's blinded by hatred. I think they've convinced themselves that Trump actually is Adolf Hitler.
And listen, and I've already got some tweets coming in from this chick named Heather who's got her panties in a twist. Just because Democrats didn't get charged doesn't mean Republicans should be corrupt also. I get it. And if Donald Trump broke the law, then he should be in trouble. But you can't look at me with a straight face and tell me there weren't some major violations on the other side. And that's what has people ticked off. It's rules for one side, not rules for the other. When you're talking about the justice system, Heather, you expect it to be fair. If Donald Trump did something wrong, throw the book at him, let the justice system run its course. But keep in mind, I expect that same kind of treatment on both sides, because that's what this country was ultimately founded on. Speaking of Joe Biden and the Democrats, old man Grassley, Iowa Republican Senator Chuck Grassley, claims a foreign national allegedly has audio recordings, 17 of them to be precise, 15 with Hunter Biden and this national, 2 with then Vice President Joe Biden and this national, And this national allegedly kept copies of all these as a, quote, insurance policy, which is kind of what you do if you're a shady businessman, right?
I don't know if this is the same as the whistleblower with the document that the FBI has alleging that Joe Biden took $5 million from Burisma to fire the prosecutor. But it's funny that the same day that Grassley says, yeah, we've got these audio recordings, we've got these, these tapes of Hunter and Joe. The same day, Joe Biden signs off on giving another $375 million to Ukraine, totaling $40 billion. We've had $40 billion in 40 payments to Ukraine. So is he compromised? That's the question. I mean, give me the tinfoil hat. If it's tinfoil hat worthy, I'll wear it. I'll be glad to wear it for a day.
If these audio recordings exist, you've got to show it. You've got to prove it, because we can't just take the word from Chuck Grassley and other folks like that they exist. But you have to present them.
Yeah, but Grassley is not a guy that is like ultra MAGA Republican. He's he's going to be 90 in September, I think. He is not some sort of extreme right-wing MAGA,
he's not Matt Gaetz.
Yeah, he's not those guys. He is more establishment-y. Establishment. Is that a word?
Establishment-y.
Yeah.
But for argument's sake here, let's just play along here. Let's say Grassley's telling the truth. All right? I have no reason not to believe him. But if Grassley's telling the truth, this means that at the same time, Donald Trump was being impeached for asking for an investigation into Burisma from Zelensky. At the same time that was going on, the FBI had a credible source claiming that Burisma bribed the Bidens. Yeah. And this is what we're talking about. Like, I get Donald Trump made mistakes, and dumb mistakes at that. But you've got this right in front of you, and you've ignored it this entire time. And if you haven't ignored it, you certainly haven't brought it up to the folks that are in charge of the investigations in Washington at this point, because they would have said something by now. Here is Ohio Senator J.D. Vance.
We have to step back and recognize that, of course, Donald Trump is being indicted today at the very same time when some extremely damaging pieces of information are coming out about the fact that Joe Biden may have been bribed to enrich his son and enrich his family. So at the very same time that the light is on Joe Biden and his family's business dealings, we're indicting his chief political rival in the United States. This is banana republic stuff, and it gives further credence to the idea that the entire sham Trump indictment is about distracting from the corrupt business dealings of Hunter and Joe Biden. This has never been seen in this country before, where you use the justice system not for justice, but for politics and to take down a political opponent and distract from your own corruption.
Now, again, if Merrick Garland comes out tomorrow and says, you know what? We are going to indict Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, and we're going to crack down on this. We're going to take this seriously. All right. I think a lot of people might not like what's happening to their guy, Donald Trump, but they would have more faith in the system itself if that were the case. But you know as well as I do that's not going to happen. Donald Trump in the air right now, making his way to New Jersey. He's got a fundraiser tonight. You get indicted during the daytime, you get arraigned, you hop in a bird, and you go raise some cash that night.
Yeah, if it's anything like the last arraignment, he's going to have at least $10 million in the coffers by tomorrow morning.
So, listen, he's supposed to do this speech tonight. I don't know about you. I can't wait that long. So here's what we're going to do. Here is AI, Donald Trump, giving us a preview of what we could expect tonight.
My fellow Americans, as you have no doubt heard by now, your favorite president was recently the proud recipient of a 37-count criminal indictment. Do you think I'm the first commander-in-chief to take a few presidential souvenirs? They were perfectly safe and secure in my bathroom. Melania uses that bathroom all the time. And after she's dropped a deuce under that chandelier, no one is going in there. Believe me.
That comment is an absolute outrage.
Oh, look, it's Mike Judas Pence, the human Q-tip. I hear you're running for president now.
Respectfully, Mr. Former President of the United States, I didn't put up with your shit for 4 years just so I could go back to Indiana and live out the remainder of my days doing radio at WIBC with the likes of Hammer and Nigel.
What's wrong with Hammer and Nigel? I love the Hammer and Nigel show. I'm told their show is doing much better than your extremely poorly rated show ever did.
What's the problem, Mike? I love the Hammer and Boom Boom show.
Oh, my God.
Hi, folks. This is Joe Biden. A little Spanish in honor of Pride Month for those who celebrate. Tengo una patata al horno en mis pantalones y es ultra blanda. You know what that means? I got a baked potato in my pants, and it's ultra squishy. Not a joke.
What's that smell?
He shit his pants.
I don't need pants, Jack. Just shut your goddamn pie hole.
Mike, let's kick his ass.
Mr. Former President, I don't engage in violence.
I know. You don't want to get your hands dirty? Here, take this wrench. And remember, you're not hitting him for yourself.
Mr. Former President, I am absolutely not going to hit.
You don't have the balls, altar boy.
Just pretend he's Rob Kendall. Oh, my God. Hammer, go to traffic.
So there's a little preview of what we could expect tonight.
Oh, my God. What is going on here?
We had a cameo from everybody right there.
That was nuts.
Mike Pence is in. Joe Biden's in. Donald Trump's there. Fun with AI. Matt Baer.
We're at eastbound 70 stopped right now from Sam Jones Expressway into Tibbs Avenue. Then we will stop and go to the South Split if you do make it south. Again, southbound 65. Now stop and go down to Raymond Street. Inbound 65, stop traffic at the White River, and then we move a little bit better around 21st Street into the North Split. Traffic sponsored by the LASIK Center. TLC Laser Eye Centers is the doctor's choice for LASIK. Get $1,000 off LASIK when treated in June. That's $500 off per eye, plus guaranteed financing. Visit saveontlc.com for details. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Hat tip to our pal Brian Baker.
That was amazing.
Naptown Bry. We still got that severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 5:36. That's for Shelby, Rush, and Decatur counties. We'll keep you up to date on that. 66 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Rob, I'm going to throw a number out at you.
Let's do it.
12.4%.
Ooh, sounds juicy. What is it?
Okay, well, between you and your employer, you've contributed as much as 12.4% of every paycheck to Social Security.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, well, if you add it up over 40 years, it could make your IRA and 401k contributions look like chump change. And that's why you want to be 100% certain you don't leave one thin dime on the table.
Hey, it's Kendall and Casey. Learn how you could wring every nickel out of your benefits with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy. If you've saved more than $200,000 and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis by calling 317-932-9912.
This free analysis pinpoints exactly how to get the most out of your benefits. Call Bill Demery today. That number, 317-932-9912. 317-932-9912.
What can I say about Exercise Inc.? I've been with Exercise Inc. for years now. It gets me the exercise, the physical movement my body needs once a week for 20 minutes. It's a strength training program. Again, it's only once a week for 20 minutes. And it's safe enough that anyone can do it. And it's tough enough that even a football player will be walking out of there all wobbly like a baby giraffe. My legs are still sore from last week's session. I'm telling you, if you are looking for a unique way to get healthy and to work out and you don't want to spend 6 days a week in a gym, go to Exercise Inc. You've got a personal coach that'll also help you outside the gym with your eating habits and diet and guide you through things you need to do outside of the gym to meet your health and fitness goals. They have 4 locations, Avon, Brownsburg, Greenwood. I go to the one in Zionsville. Check them out at exerciseinc.com. Exercise Inc. Change your life in only 20 minutes a week.
Hi, it's Bob from Royal Spa. Did you know you can experience the ultimate rejuvenation with our unique hot tubs made right here in Indianapolis? Royal Spa hot tubs are the only hot tubs compatible with Epsom salts. Imagine the tensions melting away as you step into the luxury of a Royal Spa hot tub. And now is a great time to invest in your rejuvenation. We built our inventory back up and now have new models, scratch and dents, and even demos ready for delivery. Experience the difference for yourself. Visit us online at royalspa.com.
Ah.
Royal Spa.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Are you working way too hard for way too little? There's never been a better time to consider a career in IT. You could enjoy a recession-resistant career in a rewarding field with plenty of growth opportunities and often flexible work environments. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. You could start your new career in months, not years. Take classes online or on campus, and financial aid is available to qualified students, including the GI Bill. Now is the time. mycomputercareer.edu.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. Owner Danny Reinhardt's son Kevin says one simple saying from his dad affects him every day at work.
Especially when you go out and do sales and service calls and collect money and do all this stuff that's important to a lot of people. He always said the number one thing I remember from him is just fair and honest wins every time.
You can trust Reinhardt Heating and Cooling, 317-745-4526. Reinhardt Heating and Cooling is your trusted local independent American Standard dealer.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
I got a couple for you, Hammer. Wheel of Fortune host Pat Sajak has announced this upcoming season, his 41st, will be his last as host of the show. Are you okay with Pat Sajak retiring?
No, I'm not, because Pat is the Wheel of Fortune. Pat and Vanna, right? I can't imagine another version of that show. I know they've had some other hosts for syndication things and things of that nature, but Pat Sajak and Vanna White are the Wheel of Fortune. It's just like when Alex Trebek passed away. Jeopardy has not been the same. They've been trying to get that Blossom chick to be the host and Ken Jennings to become the host, and they went through a number of different people. It's just not the same. I would put Pat Sajak on the Mount Rushmore of game show hosts. Alex Trebek,
sure.
Pat Sajak, Bob Barker,
and the guy from Family Feud,
Richard Dawson. Not only was he funny and witty, he was making out with chicks left and right. He would go up to like the dude's wife and just give her the tongue right there next to the dad and look at him like, what are you going to do about it? And he'd go up and down the line. He'd kiss the daughter. He'd kiss the sister. Like how he didn't get lip herpes, I have no idea.
What about going through some others here? Dick Clark, Chuck Woolery.
All good.
Bob
Not on the Mount.
Eubanks. Regis, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Wink Martindale on the list anywhere?
Somewhere on there, I think. Yeah. But how do you give up the easiest job in show business? I mean, really, he only worked a few days out of the month, taped shows. They banked him.
Right.
And then he was done.
At least Bob Barker was kind of walking around the set, and he had multiple titles. He had to do the Showcase Showdown. He had to do the games. There was the, segment that was first before you got on stage.
This thing is saying the Pat Sajak's worth $100 million.
Man. And the thing about Bob Barker, going back to Bob Barker, because I feel like he's kind of number one on this list here. Think about this. He was so likable that there'd be episodes where at the end, if both contestants bet over, they would both lose, and then Bob Barker would still be likable. Well, you both bet over, nobody lost. Make sure you cut your dog's crank off. Good night, everybody. And people still loved Bob Barker.
That was his thing, the spaying and the neutering of dogs.
Right. You guys are both losers. Cut off that crank and good night.
Got time for one more here, Hammer?
Sure.
Oakland A's fans are holding a reverse boycott game tonight where they pack the stadium and show that they're not the problem. Are you okay with this? You're going to have to explain that a little.
Yes, I love this idea. So the Oakland A's are one of the worst ran teams in baseball. They stink, and they're trying to move to Las Vegas. Now, they're having some hiccups right now. They thought it was a done deal, but it's not so done. So they're trying to get the city of Oakland to basically pay for a new stadium and do a bunch of stuff. The Oakland fans are saying, listen, we'll pack this ballpark if you just put a winning team on the field. And we're going to show you tonight. So tonight, it's the reverse boycott. It's supposed to be a full house in Oakland where the fans are showing the organization, put a good team together and we'll show up. Now, there are some things they're supposed to be doing tonight, like chanting, sell the team to the owner, and a lot of chants and things like that. But I'm curious to see how it plays out. All right, Tony Katz coming up next. We got Tuesdays with Tony. Right now, Harrison Silcox has a look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It didn't look like a lie. Cloudy and 66 degrees on Monument Circle with some rain on the radar. Rain expected to continue tonight with a low of 60. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:29. Elwood police have released a body cam video from last Friday's police shooting of Dakota McCreary.
He's pointing something in his hand. I'm not sure if he's got anything.
That officer ordered McCreary several times to drop whatever he had, but he refused. McCreary was accused of domestic battery.
Put it down! Put it down! Put it down!
McCreary had a lighter that looked exactly like a handgun. He survived and was charged with burglary, domestic battery, and theft. The shooting was ruled justified. Former President Donald Trump didn't sound like someone who just pled guilty while making a stop at a Miami cafe after his arraignment on federal charges.
Are you ready? Food for everyone. Food for everyone.
He posed for pictures while surrounded by his supporters. He also said the charges against him for mishandling classified documents are bogus. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says the collapse of a section of I-95 in Pennsylvania could impact supply chain. He says there's no substitute for the section of the highway that is going to be rebuilt over the course of several months. The road collapsed Sunday after a tanker truck caught fire underneath the highway. 3 teenagers were arrested in Indy on charges of robbery and auto theft. IMPD says they stole someone's car Monday and were caught on West 16th Street on the northeast side. When the cops found him, weed was found in the car, and one of the teenagers also had a gun and a prior criminal charge in their record. Some dreams do come true, says Indianapolis Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson.
It's been everything I dreamed of. It's a lot of work. Just being in here with the vets, just working, watching them work, and then just trying to find my own routine within everything and just grind day in, day out.
The rookie spoke with the media after his first day of Colts minicamp Tuesday. He says he's been spending his time studying the playbook while trying to learn from some of the more experienced players in the locker room. With traffic at 5:31, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, looking at eastbound 72 downtown from the west side, and we are stopped Sam Jones Expressway into Meridian, Illinois. It's rerouting traffic around the south side. Inbound 65 stop-and-go traffic delays longer now from 38th Kessler down to Meridian Penn. Inbound 70 stop traffic Sherman Drive into the north split. We make south on 6570. That's going to be stop and go down to the south split. Crash Washington Street east of Kitley on the east side. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Imagine the possibilities of getting the backyard of your dreams. Expand your living space with an Indy Decorative Concrete patio. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts. Big enough to service, small enough to care. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And a forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Scattered showers still possible for tonight, mostly cloudy. Low temperature in the mid-50s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy day with some breaks, high temperatures in the upper 70s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, Tony! Hey, Tony! Hey.
Pretty boy. Tony.
It's Tuesday with Tony Katz on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Don't want to keep Tony waiting.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here hooking up live with Tony Katz for Tuesdays with Tony on the DriveHubler.com hotline. Tony, just big picture, overall thoughts on the Trump indictment, the arraignment? Is it a witch hunt? Are there certain aspects about the special prosecutor's case that are legitimate? How do you think this plays out?
I think there are things that are problematic.
Yeah.
You know, if Trump is purposefully trying to hide documents, he's moving this, he's moving that. The idea that things weren't all behind a locked door, they're here, there, and everywhere, that's personally bothersome to me, because I think having classified documents is a big deal. Now, someone's going to say, no, Tony, they're not classified when Trump takes them. I think that argument's legitimate, too.
Yeah.
It doesn't change what the document is. It changes what the classification is. I don't think you need to have, hey, here's how we're going to respond if Iran attacks here, how we're going to attack them in the Mar-a-Lago bathroom. I think that's weird. I don't want it. I don't think it's safe. I don't think it's smart. So I think there are things in there that are personally damning, and I think that will hurt him in a general election if he's the nominee. In terms of how that nomination goes, you see where the polling's at, that keeps him still ahead and growing. We've got a long race to go here, but the vast majority of people see this for what it is, not just a witch hunt, but an obscenity, that this Justice Department isn't interested in justice. This is an attack vehicle, and going after a guy for 7 years and finally saying to Jack Smith, the special prosecutor, here's the man, show me the crime, going that full eventually Beria kind of way, Stalin's secret police, is the thing that is most obscene. It's not America at that moment, and as I've been saying, if you're okay with Trump being charged, but you're not okay with Hillary being charged or Biden at least being investigated, you're not serious about being an American. You believe in something else, and you got to get pushed to the side.
Tony, you've been covering this kind of stuff for a while. Have you ever seen a time like now where people are having legitimate discussions about whether or not documents were declassified that the former president showed to Kid Rock?
I could have envisioned a lot of stuff.
That's not one of them, I bet.
But no, this is not one of them. It's the idea that people had things. Remember, Obama had things, and then they went back. So when I looked at it, I'm like, okay, these things happen. I just don't like that they happen, and it happens too often, partially because we live in a world where everything gets classified. The over-classification of documents is a real subject, a real dangerous thing. But this level of, Trump calls it the witch hunt. I don't think that's actually a bad bit of terminology. This is obscene stuff that we've been watching. This isn't how you're supposed to run a country. This isn't actually how countries run that are worthwhile. This is how banana republics run, going after your political enemies and all this stuff. So the thing that I think that should be taken from this, never mind if you think Trump is right or wrong, remember that Biden and company are wholly indecent. Wholly indecent. You can think Trump is wrong, and there's now going to be a trial and everything else, but never forget how indecent this all is. This isn't the pursuit of justice. This is the pursuit of man, and that's ugly stuff.
Well, I think what's ugly is the fact that Donald Trump has a chandelier in his crapper.
I think it's great.
And a $10 shower curtain. And then you see all the classified documents stacked up. What about this audio tape, this clip of Trump, saying, oh, well, I didn't declassify these certain documents. Is there anything to that? Is that going to be something that's a problem for Trump?
Does it say that, look, I didn't declassify this, but here, check it out? Does it actually say that? I have not seen it, right? There's the articles about it.
Yeah.
Trump admits on tape that he didn't declassify secret information. Well, I want to hear the damn thing. Because if he said I didn't declassify, he's admitting that he couldn't declassify. Because, that is the big argument here. That's Jim Jordan's argument, Congressman Jordan's argument, when he talks about Navy versus Egan, the Supreme Court case from 1988. The president can declassify anything, anytime, anywhere. Now, that means that all he has to do is say, take a look at this. All he might have to do is put it in a box and take it home. It's declassified at that moment. Does he actually have to say it, or can he just think it? Is the action enough to say declassification? That's the question here. But if he then says at another time that he's got this, that it's not classified. Or I should say it is classified. I didn't declassify this. If he's saying that, literally saying that word for word, well, then he's got himself a real problem. And I think that that's the part that trips him up.
Tuesdays with Tony Katz with us here on the Hammer and Nigel show. Tony, one of the things we've talked about this week is whataboutism, because I see a lot of people on social media saying, well, the Trump supporters, it's all about whataboutism for them. But for me, if you're talking about the justice system, the Department of Justice, where law is supposed to be fair and equal for all, I think whataboutism is a fair conversation if you think one side is being punished and another side is getting away with everything.
If we have the rule of law and not everybody is subjected to the rule of law, then whataboutism is the only conversation.
Yep.
Why aren't they is the only conversation. And I'll say it again as clear as day. If you are okay with Donald Trump being charged and you are okay with Hillary Clinton not being charged, when Hillary Clinton's crimes are actually worse, what we know, well, then you're not serious about being an American. You're an authoritarian. You're something else. But you can give up the idea that you actually believe in the American way of life, the American ethos. You're not that. You're something else. It's okay, but you can't do it here. And so when we see this from the DOJ, where James Comey, when he was FBI director, said no rational person, no reasonable person would bring this prosecution, and yet we see the prosecution on Trump. Sorry, someone's not being an American here. Someone believes in the rule of man, not the rule of law, and those people need to be thrown out. And let me say for the record, and I've said this on the show, and I'll say it to you, I want the swamp cleaned. And Trump did not do that in his first term, and I don't know if he gets a second term, if he will still do it. But when I say cleaned, on day one, you're there, it's the inauguration, right? And you've been sworn in. I don't want a speech. I don't want to hear your voice. I want you to turn to the crowd and say, okay, let's get to work. Then I want you to drive right to the White House, and I want you to fire 2,000 members of the Department of Justice, 2,000 FBI agents. I want you to take a guy from the field office in Indianapolis. Congratulations. You're now in charge of the FBI, and everybody above you loses their job. We're starting fresh. And a good 1,742 members of the State Department. Just fired. I don't want to hear the rest. Until that happens, we're going to keep having this crap. I want people to lose their job.
Do you think all the GOP front runners that are vying for the nomination, like Vivek Ramaswamy, who was out on the steps of the Miami courthouse today saying he would pardon Trump if he was elected president, should everybody else stop their campaign like Vivek did and sign a document saying that they will pardon Donald Trump if they are indeed elected president?
No. First of all, if we learned anything from John McCain, you don't stop campaigns. That's not what you do.
Especially at the end.
That's a ridiculously bad idea. Secondly, I did not know that Vivek was running for vice president. I didn't know that until today.
Wow. That's it. There it is.
He really is. I don't have to sign your petition. That is an unbelievably low-rent, old-school kind of pathetic thing to do, and you look weak as hell. That's not leadership.
But he got the cameras, he got some spotlight, he got some attention today, and really that's all that he was looking for, isn't it?
I also hear he got a very good deal at some rent at Trump Tower.
Got about a minute left here, Tony. Big book signing this weekend. Tell us, the perfect Father's Day gift. Your new book is out. Tell us about it.
Let's Go Barbecue, recipes, tips, and tales from the pit. You can find it at Amazon.com, but we will be at Sullivan Hardware and Garden for Slawfest. That will go from 11 to 3, and we'll be there after that. And actually, during that, selling the book, signing the book, the Father's Day gift. My show, Eat, Drink, Smoke, the Cigar and Bourbon Show. We've got the hats, we've got the shirts, we've got the cigar picks, we've got the books. We've got all the swag ready for Father's Day. And so get on over to Sullivan Hardware and Garden on Keystone sometime for Slawfest, and then hang out with us after Slawfest and get your book signed.
He is on social media at Tony Katz. Facebook is Tony Katz Radio. TK, thank you.
Thank you.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online. Just go to 4hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
So this week is dance camp for Emmy. Blake's new baseball team practices on Tuesday and Thursday.
Oh, I'm tired just thinking about all of that. And summer just started.
Oh, and we still need to get the AC looked at. It's still too hot in the kids' rooms, and I do not want summer sleepovers to be sweatfests.
Now that is an easy one.
At Mr. Quick, we keep your AC system running smoothly all summer. Call Mr. Quick today and get $54 off any AC repair. And now you can easily schedule online at callmrquick.com.
Call Mr. Quick for on time. I'm a grandson, a son. I'm an employee and a mentor. I'm a father to 2 beautiful kids and a husband to an amazing wife. And I have a substance use disorder. In other words, I'm living in recovery with an addiction. And now that you know, will you let it change how you see me? It's okay to see my addiction, but I want you to know it's people choosing to see me as a person that changed my life.
See the person, not just their disease. Learn more at cbeyondtheaddiction.org.
Being diagnosed with cancer doesn't mean facing it alone. At Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center, we follow a multidisciplinary approach, bringing together specialists in every area of cancer care.
And if it wasn't for that team, I wouldn't be here. They put the right plan together and made it work. I'm so grateful.
Your circle of support just got stronger. Learn more at ecommunity.com/cancer.
If your leaky chimney is at it again, there's only one place to call. That's Chimney Solutions. Chimney Solutions has over 20 years of experience inspecting, sweeping, and troubleshooting chimney systems. From repairing your masonry to waterproofing to chimney caps, they handle it all with craftsmanship guarantees. The Chimney Solutions team is Chimney Safety Institute of America certified and members of the National Chimney Sweep Guild. Call Chimney Solutions today at 317-757-6979. Online at chimneyindy.com. That's Chimney Solutions.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
By listening to WIBC, you'll learn how to create a secure income plan that is sustainable throughout retirement from Crown Haven Wealth Advisors. Tune into WIBC this Sunday from 9 to 10 p.m.
Were you hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident? The insurance companies don't have the advantage of video proof that the Hammer may have. Call today or visit roadproof.wewin.com.
The Home and Garden Show hits the road again this Saturday, and we're headed to Sullivan Hardware at 71st and North Keystone Avenue. Join us from 9 to 1 for Slaw Fest, a celebration of one of the most underappreciated side dishes ever, coleslaw, with Sullivan Hardware and Garden at 93 WIBC.
Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
Closure traffic eastbound 70 just stopped from Sam Jones Expressway to Meridian, Illinois. Barely moving. That put the entire west side on Sam Jones. In the eastbound lanes right now, 3 areas of stopped traffic from I-70 to I-65 in that entire stretch, and they are long. Inbound 65 stop and go before the White River down to the North Split. Inbound 70 comes in slow from Sherman to the North Split. You continue south. It is stop and go down to Raymond Street. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Imagine the possibilities of getting the backyard of your dreams. Expand your living space with an Indy Decorative Concrete patio. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts, big enough to service, small enough to care. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
65 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
All right, listen up. And now, let's go live to a press conference with Colts owner Jim Irsay.
Moving forward look at
This has been a press conference with Colts owner Jim Irsay.
That's so not cool.
Hammer and Nigel.
It's Jim Irsay's birthday, correct?
It is. The boss man, 64 today.
That's
Colts
all?
owner Jim Irsay.
64 is not bad.
No, it's not. I would have thought he was older, to be honest. I mean, you look at Jim Irsay now. Dude's done some living. Okay, let's be honest. He's celebrated life. He's done some hard living, but he's 64. You look at him compared to, say, Donald Trump, who's in his 70s. If you put those folks side by side, who would you say is older?
Yeah, that's a good point. Although, here's what happens, Jim's had his battles, his struggles with addiction. You look at photos of him back in the day, he's a little fuller.
Yeah.
A little...
well, he was a competitive weightlifter when he was younger.
He's filled out. But once you stop partying and stop doing all the crap and stop doing all the things that are bad for your body and you lose all that weight, that's kind of where the difference comes in. So I'm not bashing the guy's appearance at all. I like Jim Irsay. I've been a Colts fan all my life.
He does a lot for the community. He does.
And he's got his life together. He was, very open with his addictions, and I hope that it inspired other people to clean their lives up and turn it around, to get over their afflictions and addictions. So happy 64th birthday to Mr. Irsay.
Here's a little montage of the owner.
I don't know how to make sausage. I don't know what goes into sausage. But I do know how to build a football team. We're the fourth winningest franchise in the league since 2000. All right, that means in the upper quartile of winners, we're in the top quartile of that upper quartile.
Did you get that? Did you follow that?
The top quartile of the other quartile were the top of the top quartile.
The upper quartile of said quartile.
I got it.
Have you ever used the word quartile in your life?
I didn't know it was a word until just now. Until just this very second when we play that montage. Of Jim
and listen,
Irsay.
We can't have a celebration, if you will, of Jim Irsay without his rebel-rousing version from Hard Knocks of We Will Rock You.
Well, I say we end with this. You guys can follow me. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Hold on.
We will rock you. We will rock you.
You know what I love about that clip? Even though the drum beat was off, I think it's 2 kick drums and a snare drum. Dun, dun,
right.
And he was just going, dun, dun. The players loved it. The Colts players love him. I think. And that's what I love about that clip.
How do you mess up the beat to We Will Rock You? Doom, doom, ch, doom, doom, ch. That's all that it is. Can I hear it just one more time, please?
Yeah, here we go.
Well, I say we end with this. You guys can follow me. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Hold on.
We will rock you.
Top stories coming up next.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here, letting you know that when you need plumbing help, call who I call, my friends at Hope Plumbing. Not only are they experts in their field who respect the true value of customer service, they also love giving back to this community, which is evident in their referral program. If you refer a friend, Hope Plumbing will give you a $50 gift card to a local restaurant. Great plumbing and supporting local restaurants. What more could you ask for? For more information about the referral program, visit hopeplumbing.com.
There's never been a better time to get that engagement ring or fine diamond jewelry. Right now at Diamonds Direct, our most exciting offer ever. You can get instant savings up to $5,000 off any purchase or enjoy special financing for up to 5 whole years. Either way, you save big. You can't miss this limited time offer. Design your perfect ring and get our most gorgeous and most flexible financing options. Now through June 30th at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get details, store hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com. On approved credit.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Hey, this
this is Malia. We often get asked when is the best time to buy, and the answer is today, not tomorrow. With rising utility costs, rising product costs, and missed opportunity costs, which you could be saving with a high-efficiency system. Give us a call today to schedule your free in-depth estimate, 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Addiction affects almost everyone. In fact, nearly 90% of people that struggle with substance abuse don't get help. Many people don't know where to start or think that treatment is ineffective or too expensive. At Landmark Recovery, we're here to tell you that's not true. We teach a curriculum that is both effective and affordable. You can learn how to live a happier and healthier life, a life that is free from addiction. Don't wait another day to get help. Call 866-LANDMARK or visit landmarkrecovery.com to learn more.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
One great benefit that comes with getting old is that you've seen it all. For nearly 200 years, Old National Bank has been there, an established financial partner, serving the community right in the community. Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Get old.
Hammer, I hit up the garage food hall there in the Bottle Works district. Palavana Cubano, the best Cuban sandwiches in the world, the best pastries. The coffee's unbelievable. I love it.
Have you had the lobster mac and cheese?
Yes!
From Jay's Lobster and Fish Market?
Yes!
It's right there next to Palavana Cubano in the Bottle Works. So good, the best in the city.
I can eat an entire bucket of Jay's lobster mac and cheese. Are you kidding me?
Stop by either one of these places, but make sure you tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now, but I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TIRE for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and